first series was nothing short of a heart attack, but now we are moving on to our second series of the night, and this is definitely gonna be a banger. It's Full Send Sapphire versus Team SMG. Now we all know that SMG has been one of the firepowers, the firecrackers here on the on Split Two, sorry, on Open Two. Because if you guys remember, not only did they sign some of the best players here from APAC itself, but also the best, I would say, arguably the best duelist here in APAC, that is Aneri.
I think that's no doubt at all what you just mentioned. That statement just rings across true with anybody else who has watched Game Changers here. But there is a team who actually beat that duelist, which is Sapphire, and they did proceed to the Game Changers Championship last year in 2022. This time, though, Aneri joining Team SMG might be a redemption arc for her in terms of her, pulling out the guns together with the likes of Alexi and the rest of the team, right? Is this going to be a revenge match, or is it just really be? Will this just really be a showing of all of their talents across? Because Team SMG, they haven't really dropped the map just yet ever since the game changers started.
I mean, if we look at the lineups here for both teams, I think it's gonna be really interesting because if we know Full Sense Sapphire, I mean, most if not all of their players stay together. But for SMG, changing out having Camille on a team and Shirazi, sorry, as well as Aneri, not Shirazi, sorry, Aneri has definitely changed the dynamics of how they play. We all know that SMG has been very strong, but with the firepower coming through from Aneri and Kohaibi, I think it's just a perfect symphony for them because if you saw during the Swiss stage, they did not only did they not drop a single map, but coming into this game, every single map they played has been very, very huge, the gaps between the team as well as their opponents.
Yeah, even against Full Sense Sapphire during Open 1, right, when Lotus debuted as one of the maps for Game Changers, they didn't even, doubt at all their own performance. They just played so well. They were enjoying and they stomped against this roster. But I don't doubt them at all. Of course, we have the likes of Ginny, Muffin, and Baby TZ, the trio all together, just performing so well for Sapphire. And together with Margot and Polly, just delivering all of those KDAs, their anchorship for the team. I'm guessing that this will be now a story of a rivalry. But yesterday, during the interview with Team SMG, when Team SMG were asked whether or not they would consider other teams as their rivals, they would say, not really. Maybe they're just really focused on what's ahead of them. They're just focusing on the grand championships, of course, overseas, right? And that's really the main goal of Team SMG. But this time, right, that will be a barrier if and when Team Sapphire actually, or Full Send Sapphire, does really give them a heart attack too. If game match number one was a heart attack, this will be too for sure.
I mean, I had the pleasure of visiting the girls for Team SMG yesterday, to see their facility and how exactly things go. And I really saw the bond between them. If you guys didn't know as well at home, that Team SMG also has a psychologist with them. And I think that a lot of esports teams should have this because their pre match is really good, honestly, because coming through from SMG, not only were they meditating, they were already sort of like trying to clear their mind and to bring themselves into a different sort of level of gameplay and teamwork coming into the game. And I love to see that. I'm not sure what's being brought forward on the pre-games for other teams, but I think it'll be really cool to see that one day. Regardless, coming through, we also had this conversation as well yesterday about their coach Fal, really setting it up for them in terms of their set plays and what they want to do. And coming into today, the question for me is, we all know that yesterday in terms of their comps and how they play, it's all just straight up confidence from SMG. I'm wondering if today would be the same.
Yeah, I mean, look at the confidence too for Full Sense Sapphire. They did pick Haven against Team SMG, who actually really favors this map.
Mm.
But also, when it comes to the picks, right, Fall has a lot of influence when it comes to the decision making of the team. Probably Bind is another one as well. Given that this is going to be the first map, this will be what will define the rest of the momentum for Team SMG, or will it be able to swing in favor of Full Sense Sapphire? What I am very curious, though, would be the map of Pearl. It not being banned by Full Sense Sapphire means that they have prepared for this specific map.
Right.
Because Pearl has been Team SMG's comfort pick. They have been getting getting scores of 13-2, 13-4.
Mm,
The most that the other opponents that they've had against Team SMG would be a 13-4. So
right.
Pearl kind of is a rocky map, at least for Full Send Sapphire, but there is a lot to show here.
Right. I think we should kind of focus on Bind first. Now we all know that Bind has just gone through a rework, and coming into this game, I think that Bind, I wouldn't say it's more complicated, but it's still definitely defender sided. Now, what do you think that we can expect from both teams for this particular map?
Well, the past 2 days, right? We expected to for Team SMG to have a very decent composition, but even if they defied the odds, right? Statistically speaking, of what is usually picked within this specific map, they would go for either a full controller setup and then favor like four duelists and then one controller. I'm really gonna doubt whether or not they choose that specifically for Bind, because Bind
Hmm,
is really such a tricky map to play,
it is.
especially against Pulse and Sapphire. So I'm really looking forward to see how they will be able to at least balance it out. I know for sure that Shirazi would either play the controller, and then Camu will be the type of support agent for the team. But
Mhm,
given that we do have technically three duelists for the team, Alexi, Kohaibi, and as well as Zaneri,
mhm.
that's where the assignments really should be. And I'm curious to see what Fal has in store for them in terms of agent comp.
I mean, if you look at how they played here, I mean, for Bind, the last time they played was Swiss Stage against Full Set Sapphire as well. And, they actually picked, I think, a decent comp here. I mean, last time we saw it's going to be a Raze. Obviously, it's going to be Kohaibi on the Raze. We know how well she does that agent, as well as Aneri on the Jet. Now, with these two, I would say it's a very, very viable comp coming forward, because it does provide a lot of space for them to take space in. If, say, they want to hit A, they can come in through main or even clear out showers, which already gives two different areas to clear out for them to get onto the site itself. But at the same time, we can't just talk about set plays here, because we have to really talk about individual skill, because that's exactly what SMG brings to the table. Just pure, raw, clean aim. And that's what makes them so terrifying. Now, on the flip side, if you look at Full Sense, they are a team that I think heavily relies on teamwork, set play. And what do you think that they can expect coming into this game against SMG? Because again, we talk about about Full Sense, how it was very, very, I would say, great seeing their team play, their set play, how they look more confident. But what can they do when they are against a team that's just pure great, just like basically a forest fire in your face?
I think it's all about the leadership. I think if you guys watched the documentary that Ginny was highlighted, right? It was all about the brain power, her being the leader for the team, and really her influencing the rest of the team members, right? If you have Team SMG with raw aim, raw firepower, raw talent, you do have a team as well that was built and anchored on one single player, which is Ginny. And if you can be able to try and provide that impact to your team members, and if all of the members just listen to one voice, then that can make a big difference. And I think that's also seen with how they play within a map, right?
Mhm.
It's very crucial when it comes to Ginny's ability to lead the team mid round, because even before Team SMG was formed, they did struggle for a bit when it comes to these mid round recoveries.
Right.
But they've worked on that already, and now I think the biggest barrier is Team SMG.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of teams feel the same way, because if you look in terms of power rankings for this tournament, TMSMG is definitely far ahead of the rest. Now, whether or not these teams are up for the challenge is the question, and I think Full Sense Sapphire really want to prove that, because if you were to see, I mean, their last game, or just rather dissect it, Team SMG was so dominating on the defensive side, and that's honestly very understandable. Again, this is a defender-sided map, and Full Sense Sapphire, because they weren't able to get the attack side sooner, they actually lost that. Actually, no, because they weren't able to get most of the rounds earlier or get the momentum, they weren't able to push forward. Now, whether or not it would change if, say, Full Sun Sapphire would attack first might be a whole different story. Because for Full Sun Sapphire, they do run Muffin on the jet, and we've seen her performance yesterday or even the day before that. Sorry, that when she plays as the jet, it's very very clean because we all know that Baby TZ as well as Ginny is just so great at providing and enabling her. Now, whether or not they'll still be able to maintain this set play is the question. Because in a lot of situations for SMG, they're really good at breaking set plays, getting those pickoffs early, separating them from their teammates, playing aggressive. And I think this is something that I think a lot of our team, Full Sun Sapphire, they have to really worry about. But now we're coming into the game here. Let's see if Full Sun Sapphire has an answer to SMG's very aggressive sort of play.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to what initiator that Full Sense Sapphire will be selecting. And I love this pick for Ginny as the Sky. She has been, playing the Sova for so long, but maybe changing it up a bit. She does usually play the Sky and Icebox,
Um,
but in Bind, it might make all of the difference. And together with that double controller setup, I think control is what they want to yearn for.
Yeah, but if you look at the flip side here for SMG, I think that they have actually swapped roles here because Aneri and Kohaibi, Aneri will be actually is going to be the race. Kohaibi will be taking a step back onto Smoke, and Alexi will be the one on the Jet. Now, personally, I don't remember seeing Jet on Alexi so far. So I'm really curious to see how exactly this is going to be panning out. So I really honestly can't wait. So I'm going to pass it over to our casters. Ready or not, Taylor and Zach, on to you guys.
Thank you very much, Tash and Donut and Alexi. Well, Alexi, this year she might not have picked up the jet as much, but last year she was one of those slay players for Bren Victor's IGL duelist. You don't see that quite often, but Alexi, she does it in style. So I'm very happy to see it again. I'm Zach, and with me here is the wonderful Taylor. And looking at this team comp, what are your thoughts so far?
Ah, man, I was waiting for the 5-man controller, SMG. Why not pull it out now, huh? But anyway, we are finally here on our second series, ladies and gents, and you know what it is. It's gonna be Full Sense Sapphire playing here against Team SMG, and it's gonna be a real you can see how serious they all look, right? So this is gonna be a banger of a match we're bringing to the table right now. Especially the first map is gonna be Bind. Hopefully, we can also see the player camps this time. And by the way, Zach, we're also on the main stream of FSL now. Bigger shout outs to you guys who was watching there as well.
Yo, yo, yo! You know, so far this open, the most number of rounds that any team has taken off of SMG is 4. So the question is, can Full Sense Sapphire do better? And more than that, can they actually overcome the absolute server demons that SMG have been so far? At least finally we're seeing an actual serious composition coming out of SMG here. They have stopped saving strats, quote unquote, and now they're just looking to refine whatever existing teamwork they have. They're going to be starting off on attack here. Very, very slow start for SMG, for their taste anyway. Still, though, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, and Maneri gets the refract through Hookah. However, towards long, it's still going to be player advantage shifting in their favor. Ginny barely getting away with their life. Numbers still at a very even trade here with Hy-Vee on the Viper, looking to get a little bit more aggressive. They know for a fact that Ginny is very, very good here. All they have to do is be able to get those kills. Polly, though, huge work there. And now it's going to be a 1v1.
They wanted to clear out elbow here. They really want to manpower, put a lot of manpower towards that elbow control. But in the end, Polly going and moving away with a double kill really wasn't part of the plan here for the side of SMG. It might be a rotation as we are looking into it right now. It's going to be a run for the plant of the spike, and for Baby TZ, it's going to be a run to try and get the timing right. She hears the plant of the spike right there, and this is going to be position versus position, and the camera just doesn't help at all.
Yeah, doesn't really catch anything. Shirazi, though, gets caught out here. Oh, just the tip of Harbor's ponytail visible over that box, and Baby TZ will be able to clean things out. I think this is the first time that a team has taken the pistol off SMG so far in these playoffs in that first round, but really clean work coming out of Sapphire there. Of course, Shirazi did her best, but that HP advantage a little bit too much for them to deal with and just could not get that reposition in time. Beautiful work out of Fulse and Sapphire. And I think the biggest credit here goes to Ginny. And more than that, just Polly for being able to keep things at a 1v1 and tagging Shirazi up so much. She was able to get like 2.5 kills towards that CT side of the B side. So phenomenal work out of Full Sense.
Yeah, exactly. Really good on the repositioning as well. And obviously, out of the luck itself, Baby TZ still had the traps on. She still had the camera on. Again, the upper hand advantage, especially in that kind of 1v1 scenario. But here we go again on another round that we have for Full Sense, where they get the Bulldogs, they get the Spectres, and now it's gonna be the fight for Neri as Polly shuts her down. This is one duelist away in the hands of SMG. Baby TC, on the other hand, very much aware there's someone or people on site already. They go for a plant here, but also with the smokes coming up from the harbor, really quite difficult to see. Oh,
Oh my god, Alexi. That's the Alexi I know, with the Sheriff being able to get 2 headshots. She might not get the Tondo, but she definitely gets the Sheriff shots here. Now, numbers advantage in favor of the side of Team SMG. However, it's gonna be Alexi still getting the Sheriff shots, still making magic work, and Kohaibi with the wraparound denies the defuse. That's gonna be SMG stealing this anti-eco away with nothing but pistols. And Alexi, I don't know what she had before this game. I don't know if it's like some kind of extra caffeine or just
adobo, but laksa
Adobo.
flavor. It's a brand new sinigang mix. It's not sinigang anymore, guys. It's actually sinigang laksa flavor that they're trying out there in Singapore, wherever they may be. They're in Singapore, right? So,
yeah, there.
as we call it in Tagalog, just bring home some pasalubong or souvenirs, Alexi. Thank you very much. But
Sorry,
like you
Malaysia.
said, Zach, they managed to pull off the round that was supposed to be in Full Sense hands into their pockets here. So a little scary. Polly goes down immediately in the hands of Ineri with that quick shutdown.
That's a headshot though. Unfortunately, 145 damage, always the sad thing when it comes to Sheriffs at that range. Ineri should be able to get healed back up here with the help of the overgrowth, so that's not going to be too much permanent damage, although she is going to be vulnerable to a second Sheriff shot. After all that commotion towards that A site though, they seem to have gotten a whiff of that gamble stack coming in, and now they know that they can just walk into B. They're going to be able to get in without too much trouble. No real clear presence here from the side of the defenders, and that's just going to be a free spike plant.
It is gonna be indeed a free spike plant here in the hands again of SMG. Now FSS, they need to retaliate, they need to react to this with their pistols in their hands right now. Genie still has one guiding light that is available, but they have to wait for the smoke, and as the smoke dissipates, there's gonna be that engagement. Muffin still alive and kicking here, but again, not enough damage when it comes to those shots popping in, and the whole, you know, SMG team having the firing squad. You have to hit the shots.
They did do a little bit of damage. You do see some nice friendly kills, friendly damage coming out of Muffin, but yeah, Vandal power in the hands of SMG power is just too much overpower for any team to deal with here. And now SMG, they're 2-1 already. Shirazi with the Reckoning online. It's been 3 rounds here, Taylor. What the? And on the opposite side, Baby TC also does have that neural theft ready to go. So both teams very close to a couple of pivotal ults here. Sapphire in particular, I think that Ginny, if she can get a kill or even an orb, that's going to be the Seekers for the retake available. And that could be so much value, especially if it's going to be like a 3v3 situation.
If they do find the value, again, we are on a technical pause podcast brought to you by Zach and Taylor. Welcome to the stream, ladies and gents, while we're waiting for this technical pause. Well, Zach, to say the least right now, we are looking at how, obviously, first of all, how SMG is taking this series seriously as well. And you saw what happened on the first round, to say the least, on the pistol round that was supposed to be in the hands of SMG already. But obviously speaking, these two teams that we have, you cannot just discount that these are OG players here in Game Changers APAC. You've seen them time and time again. New org, probably new name, but in the end, same players we're looking at, and this is a pretty strong team that SMG is looking after too. Shirazi sees that camera, just destroys it. You know, traps here and there.
Scout destroyed.
Now the cascade as well. Instantly the Trailblazer gets broken. So that cascade, it could mean anything. People could be scaling up. There could be nobody behind it. Finally, it's going to go down. So there's going to be the re-clear coming out of the likes of Ginny and Baby TZ. But apart from that, not much else. Ginny is able to pick up that orb and get the Seekers online here. Already, almost half the clock has run down, so they're going to have to make a move pretty soon. It does seem like they still want to go for this B-side push. Spike as well making its way on towards the site, and that's going to be the key to W game their way forward. Still, though, 2 players inside Hookah, and that control has not been lost. Reckoning going to be invested to make sure that there's nobody hiding towards that backside or in any nifty corners here. And while Hookah is still taken, the site itself, SMG, they have it.
Cannot
30
see
seconds
even
left.
a slightest idea in the site itself. You have a cove set up, you have the wall set up, but Muffin going really crazy here onto Elbow, but in the end, SMG yet again. The positioning were there already, Zach, to say the least, because of all the smokes that were thrown in the faces of Full Sense here. They really had no clue where the post-plan positions might be, and even if they hop out, they're gonna be answered back yet again with more utilities.
SMG, this is what we're used to knowing. They just do not miss any shots. And even though, at least to Muffin's credit, she was able to get one is going to be all that happens. And SMG, they are not only on their way to building up a significant lead, they're also really building up their bank here. 5,500 in the pocket for Kohibi. Remember, this is a player that went 29-1 yesterday in one of the games. So Kohibi, this time around, does have a little bit more deaths, but still looking as dangerous as ever. And it's just going to be firepower across the board. Now, remember here, SMG, they won last open 23 maps in a row, and that was without the additional buff of Energy joining the team. Now, it's just going to be Frag Central here as they take that A site, rushing forward, just pistols in the hands of these players on the side of Sapphire, and there's not much that they can do. Seeker's invested as well, and that's going to trigger a CT push. Alexi, not finding the kills, will be forced to fall back, but already SMG, they have so much space.
The aggressiveness you can just show, and you can just see Lexi just getting mad here. I think she's hungry, but nevertheless, Polly hops out as well. And Eri goes for the kill right now, and Ginny goes for the trade. There's still a Blade Storm in play here, but it's not going to be enough. And Eri tries to shut them all down with the help of Shirazi. It's a clean-cut round again for SMG. They lost 3 players here, Zach, but nonetheless, the round is theirs.
Oh, I have missed seeing Inari. Like, I feel like she's one of the most precise aimers in the circuit, and it's just
The real
it's just
queen.
the real queen. I mean, to be fair, Queen Slay, yeah, it's just another day, another slay for Inari, let's face it. But honestly, SMG, the squad, they just look so pristine when it comes to coordination. Sure, a lot of the games before this, it's just been them taking head-on-head duels, but this game, they're really showcasing the strats that they've been working on. Like, for example, in that previous round, the B-side take, the awareness from them, like, yeah, they don't have hookah control. They put up that Viper smoke. Harbor utility comes up as well. They get the plant, and they immediately push for Elbow to try and catch Muffin off guard. And that just creates more pressure for Sapphire because they have to keep their eyes on CT as well. And again, the same. It's just been so much control on sites exerted by Shirazi and Kohibi, wrapping around, finding these timings. And Sapphire, even though they're in a situation where it's like a 5v5 retake, it's just been so difficult for them. Now, though, they finally have a chance to start things off with early kills, because guess who has an operator, Taylor? Oh, never mind. She baited me. She baited me. She baited me.
Zach debated, guys. Psych.
Not fair.
Psych, as they would say it here. But they're still thinking twice about that operator setup. You never know. At this point right now, SMG, though, Again, if you pull out a composition like the Harbor Viper setup, you have to get the cues right. As soon as the wall of the Viper goes down, might be seeing another cascade coming in from Shirazi, for example. But again, it takes a lot of precision when it comes to timing to pull off this double control setup. And let's see if SMG has enough. I mean, you have the foundation already for SMG, but has it been enough? The timing and everything else. 4-1 again. Maybe a trailblazer out to try and see who's hiding in the corners. They know it's gonna be a crossfire here. We're using up utilities just to push them out of their comfort zones right now. It's only one. Baby TZ needs to answer back here. Showstopper right in front of the face and completely diminish onto that spot.
There.
I feel bad. Baby TZ was trying to make a play there. Oh, okay. Alexi with the knife jump peek. This time around, it's going to be an Aerie to back her up. And it's going to be the kills once again going in favor of SMG. And Aerie is on fire in this game. It does seem like she's that unstoppable force. Unless Margot has something to say about it. Finds 2 headshots concurrently. And now it is going to be a 2v3 scenario. Camille is so low as well. Only 2 HP and a dream left to play with. This is definitely a round that Full Sense can win. All they have to do is play their cards right. They're taking a lot of damage though. This smoke here. Margot with 4 on the round. Now it's a 1v1 controller versus controller. Shirazi though, the HP advantage of the positioning are just a little bit too much to deal with. Margot finally going down after getting 4 heroic kills. And SMG, they find 5.
It's a curse, Zach. It's a curse. You just never get the ace today. You know, no one.
Yeah.
Everyone just got 4Ks. The ace moment. Not today. That's what happens. It just so happens it was a 1v1 situation as well. So the curse just worked in the end. But anyway, seriously speaking though, Margot, come on. That swings, not only the shots connecting for the first person, but actually the spray control and transfer towards the next possible person to kill. Completely there. She is on fire right now. And it's a little scary to think of, especially how about the other players of Full Sense once they gain full control of the map yet again.
They're just kind of taking away the map now, though. It's gonna be an aggressive push coming out. Camille still able to flick on and get that kill. Muffin with the weapon, finally able to get that refrag, and Baby TZ with a beautiful headshot will not only be able to get that neural theft for the info, but also some additional weaponry in her pocket. Now numbers advantage in favor of SMG. Only Sheriff in the hands of Baby TZ, and Kohibi runs her down with the help of that rifle. Flame coming in onto Kohibi, and you just don't walk into her Viper spit like that. You just don't do that. Kohibi just mows them down once again, and SMG, they find sticks. I know that was an eco round for Full Sense, but it definitely looked doable until Kohibi said, "Stop right there! You are under arrest."
No entry, no ID, everything you can think of, even an exercise up until the very last moment, you know, just trying if her knees are still okay, just a little crouch here and there. But anyway, 6-1, SMG so far, they have a one-sided match that we're looking at here, but to think about it, Full Sense is also not doing bad on their economy rounds. The shots coming in from, for example, Baby TZ and even Polly and even Margot. You know the good foundation of Valorant is there. It's just more about reacting to how SMG is also reacting. And so far, SMG just keeps on winning the rounds as well, especially with the help of those a lot of smokes, by the way. It just takes coverage for them to really open up a site.
They are just having the time. It just looks like they're having fun. Like all of those player cams are smiling into it, especially Kohibi. She had a very evil smirk that last round, which is completely understandable. Now though, Muffin able to find that first blood here, taking down Camille. That's gonna be huge. No more flashes available for entries here. Alexi's gonna have a much more difficult job to really be able to set things up. In the meantime, 3 players still being held in place by Alexi on that B site. A site, only 2 there. Alexi now on a solo venture looking to find some frags here. Oh my god, Alexi finds 2 already before finally being shut down. However, Polly and Baby TZ between them are doing absolute work. It's all down to Shirazi. Only 30 HP left. Gets the wall bag on the first. Now a 1v2. Gets the reposition into U-Haul, but not aware of the position of where Muffin is. Goes into heaven. Gets that shot. No way you do this! Shirazi Finally, somebody stops her. Polly gets the defuse, but that 1v3, it looks so terrifying for like a minute. Oh my god.
I don't know, Zach. Maybe I should go back to the Filipino broadcast and VCT PH. I feel like here in Game Changers, I'm gonna die from heart attack at 25. So many things happening, so many rounds where you think it is a 3v1 and in the end, the other team or the other player can still clutch it. But in the end, you can still see that obviously having that manpower, extra advantage towards the people you have on the site as well really helps a lot, no matter how clutch the player may be. You saw the entry with Alexi. She was looking for one. She managed to find two. But then something is happening on A site. Like complete destruction in A site. They tried to set it up for them to really take it. But in the end, they were just overpowered here by Full Sense.
Finally, the rare timeout coming out of SMG, and this one seems to be a serious one. Before this, they've been kind of like them being 11-0 and still taking a timeout. But for once, it's going to be something that they're considering. How dare you not win that 1v3, Shirazi? But overall, last round, it was an indication of what Fulsa and Sapphire are capable of. You saw them being able to hold down, and of course, that A side hold coming out of the likes of Polly and Baby TZ together, with Muffin finding those initial frags. That's the kind of potential that they do have. Remember, this is the team that did represent APAC at that global championship last year, placing in the top 6. Now SMG, they look to take their slot this year around. And Aries said in one of the promotional content that FSL put out that this is her year. Her goal is to debut, have her international debut, and I feel like this is one of the few teams that could possibly stop it. Unlikely, but possibly.
Well, you just never know. It's still a long way to go here anyway in our open. And nonetheless, it's the first map that we have currently. Again, I truly believe in this roster that Full Sense has, that they have more than enough foundation of professional playing in Valorant to really take rounds here and even maybe a series away from SMG. But anyway, Muffin already for the first initial pick off here towards Ineri. They have a Blade Storm up online if they want to use it. Margot also has that Orbital Strike, but it seems like it is going to be a waiting game until they want to try a retake.
Now they have the plant down. They have to make this retake work out, but so far it's just going to be 1-for-1 trade. Numbers advantage still in the favor of Full Sense here. Margot's Orbital Strike finding the final kill to boot, and once again Margot has been just so impactful on this particular map, with not just the utility but also the raw frags. And despite that timeout, Sapphire, they're still able to win this. They realized that if SMG, they try to go in for the retake, they have quite a bit of utility to work with, and just that patience coming out of them, that change of pace, that adaptation that Sapphire have made, it has served them so well over these last couple of rounds.
I mean, especially when you set up the site like that, you have all the high tides coming in, even a cove. It's very difficult to really engage on a fight immediately while they try to plant the spy. And for Full Sense right now, they would rather go for the retake where everything dissipates already. At least they have that opportunity to actually know where the players of SMG might be. They don't want to be caught in surprise here. But other than that, getting initial pickoffs is very, very essential for Full Sense. And that's why you can see them really trying to get aggressive positionings, especially here in A Cup B right now. And if they manage to get a kill onto Kohaibi, it might be a domino effect all throughout. And that's exactly what will happen right now.
Again, Muffin finding that first blood. That's going to be 3 rounds in a row where she's managed that feat. And now you do see SMG trying to go for that showers control instead. But again, Sapphire, they're so quick on the reads. You know, they've been kind of holding onto that position for the last 2 rounds. And now they're happy to adapt and switch things around here. You see SMG repositioning to try and go in for this B-side hit, but there's just so much oppressive utility lying in wait for them. Polly with the Viper walls and mollies, as well as the Cypher utility on site is going to make things a bit rough. However, SMG, they have their Seekers to try and make their way through. They know for a fact that there's at least 2 players on the side off the back of that. Alexi again on the lurk, just being an absolute menace here, brings things back down to a 4v4. 30 seconds left on the clock. They haven't gotten the plant down yet, but Alexi has the A side, and that's going to be the call to rotate. Oh, God.
Well, caught off guard. That's going to be Alexi going down already. They take advantage of the verticality of the positioning here onto Heaven. Shirazi, though, like they said, she never misses the shot. Let's see if it happens now. Baby TT shuts her down, showstopper to the face, and that's towards Baby TZ. 2v1 situation. They go for the heal here. Kamiyu and Neneri just holding down the fort when it comes to lamps, and that's gonna be Margot for the first kill. They go for the molly and tap on the spike. Margot, though, is she gonna continue or just halfway there? Oh no! That's gonna be Margot hearing Kamiyu out. Outplayed it is, Zach.
Oh, that was so well played by Margot. Again, like, finally she's able to shut things down. It's been like a couple of rounds where she's been getting like 3Ks and 4Ks and not able to close out the round. But this time she doesn't. Playing that 1v2 to absolute perfection here. To be able to stick down half the spike and just hearing that sound cue to get that final kill. Really, really good work coming out of Sapphire here. Looking much, much more confident in their play. Sure, they lost 6 rounds in a row, but they got 3 back. And now they have that neural theft once again, as well as the Viper Spit to work with. Economy finally looking a little bit dicey for SMG. If Sapphire can win another round, we might actually see SMG forced into an eco.
Look at this, though. Might be something big for Muffin right now as she hops out. The kills coming in from SMG yet again. Kamiyu looks unstoppable right now. Maybe for a third, but not gonna happen anymore as Ginny stops her toes. 3v3. Very, very leveled playing field here, but Alexi has the opportunity to use the blades.
And Neri gonna be the one left towards this A site right now, where there's just so much defensive utility here. The Viper's pit towards short, the Stripwire as well to boot. And now that she's created that presence, that pressure towards shower, the rest of the team, they're trying to figure out if they can really make their way back into this. Hoping perhaps against hope that Polly might have fallen back, but no, Polly is just like, I'm not moving from this position, guys. You know what? I'm gonna hold down short. Good luck if you want to take the rest of the side. There still seems to be SMG's plan. Oh no, Baby TZ peeks for some information, just walks into an Ares crosshair, and that is gonna be Heaven control taken to boot. The spike itself is gonna be planted towards the backside here, and despite Polly playing in this angle, she will be forced to wait for her teammate to try and get a crunch in.
Not only that, though, she rotated all throughout, and it's gonna be a showers hit for her this time. It might be a good repositioning too. So, to say the least, this is still a workable retake scenario for FS if they get a kill.
Oh my
but
God.
Ginny already getting dipped here. 21 HP remaining onto her. SMG. They're quick on their toes. They know exactly where they're gonna look at. They know exactly what positioning they would be in. 7-4.
You just cannot make a single mistake against SMG players here. The round started off pretty well for Sapphire.
One
Right? They were
enemy
able to
remaining.
trade out pretty evenly towards long, and they still had so much controlling utility on that A side, but just one peek from Baby TZ, one sliver of that Cypher had, and Ineri is just quick to the trigger, doing absolutely bombastic damage. And just like that, SMG, they once again jump back into the 7-4 right now. Last round and a half. Reckoning online for Shirazi. Seekers for Ginny. Not Seek. Sorry,
The
Orbital
only-
Strike for Margot, yeah. My bad.
Bombastic I know is a side-eye, but that's just me. Marco, though, and Polly going for the kills here. 2-1 trade coming in right now, but Alexi evens out. Again, Muffin answers as well. 3v2 situation. SMG, will they go for a rotate now? They go for the TP. This has been heard by Full Sands completely. They know it's gonna be 2 people. Delay. That's what they're gonna do as they hop out in front of the crosshairs of Polly. 1 man down, and the last remaining player. This is gonna be Kohaibi now. She can still go for that quick TP out. Let's see what she's gonna do, though. Instead, she reloads in 14 bullets. Now with Muffin hopping out. 1 man down yet again. 1v1. Kohaibi versus Margot. It's a battle of duel. Whoever hops out, and that's gonna be Margot winning.
Margot, just that clutch player that Full Sense Sapphire has truly needed against the super team. And that's the record broken here. Taylor, that's going to be finally SMG losing more than 4 rounds. But we're not done with this map yet. We still have a half to go. Before that, though, let's toss it to our panelists to break down what we just saw, which was, in my opinion, chaos.
Chaos or not, but the thing is, we are seeing such a close half here between SMG and Full Sense Sapphire. Well, everyone thought that SMG will still be stomping around and just running everyone over. Full Sense Sapphire had something to say about it in this 5-7 half. There's a lot I want to highlight here, but first of all, I really want to talk about Margot's performance from Full Sense Sapphire. She's been such a game changer for a lot of the rounds coming toward the second half of the first half, and I think that her clutches have been huge. What do you think, Donut?
Yeah, especially as a controller for the game, you usually save all of that utility for last so that you have that molly, those smokes to try and control that situation. But Margot, being the last player alive, so much pressure is on her, but the pressure is not there. At least it was shown during the last round that we saw in that half. It was a Margot versus Kohibi, both at the top of the scoreboards. But at the same time, you would want to see at least in terms of performance, they're of equal footing. But I guess what the team of Full Sense Sapphire really did figure out during the first half was that first kill advantage. Each and every time it went in favor of Team SMG, and then everything went down from there. So what they did was they actively sought those kills. Once they get the kill, now everything went in shambles for Team SMG. So now a 5-7 scoreline is really something beneficial for Full Sense Sapphire. So let's see if there are more rounds to be lost by Team SMG.
Okay, let's see how it goes now because we're about to start a game. Now, I really want to talk also about how the rounds have been pretty close because in most of the rounds at first, it seemed like it was so one-sided until Full Sense Sapphire knew how to play the game. It was a lot of lurks, there was a lot of watching the backside. We do see Alexi really, I would say, kind of like moving around and trying to stop those lurks, but it has been caught off guard by Ginny herself. Regardless, as we go into the game, let's see if SMG can bring this forward or we'll be seeing a round taken away by Full Sense Sapphire. On to you guys, Zach and Tay.
Second half here, Zach. 7-5. Record has been broken already. All throughout from Swiss up until here on the stage we have an Open 2. And like I told you, look at this first half. I really actually believe that right now, in this Open 2, Full Sense Sapphire is one of those teams that can go up against a team like SMG.
I mean, I think so as well. They have been one of the most hardworking rosters that we've seen over the past few years. And the thing is, they're a team that does not stop the grind, right? For 2 years, everybody said, yeah, nobody could beat Alter Ego. They're winning everything. And then these guys are just like, yeah, we have something to say about it. You're not. Now again, they're looking to replicate that feat here. SMG though getting aggressive towards this B long area, already able to find not one, not two, but 3 kills on the round. And everybody who got tagged up is just getting healed up by Camus. So it's just going to be overwhelming damage once again to Sapphire on this pistol. 2 players left, Baby TZ and Polly. They still have the spike. They still look fairly healthy, but it is going to be a very difficult round for them to get back in. They have to find a pick right off the bat. Shirazi's position getting spotted. The Molly not quite going as expected. Shirazi's still able to hold down the angle, and now it's just down to that 1 player. Polly finds 2 kills though. Suddenly this looks very much doable. The jump peek as well. Does quite a bit of damage to Kohibi. The Kohibi is able to strike back. 13 HP is all that Polly has to be able to try and close this round out. And instead of taking the TP after her, SMG decide, hey guys, it's a 2v1. Let's just try to play for that instead. Polly gets the plant down at the very least, but her position, Alexi, sharp as ever, gets that kill, and it's going to be SMG getting to 8.
It was a run, you know? In the end, at least they were able to secure a plant here, and that would help out in the economy in the next following rounds as well. While Alexi is still exercising in front of the spike, you can definitely see as well that the advantage when it comes to the HP was very much heavily in favor here of SMG anyway. Not only that, like you said, they had the Sky alive. Kamiyu was alive and well to make a heal happen, and that completely resets at least the HP of the remaining players of SMG to go in that battle against Polly. And 5-8 is the scoreline as SMG wins the pistol here. They have another upper hand. But we've seen time and time again, Zach, that this anti-pistol or anti-eco that we have can also go turn around.
Yeah, it just happened in that last half here. And honestly, with the kind of aim that these girls have, the sheriff shots are almost as deadly as phantoms and vandals in their hand. This time around, SMG, they contested B long. They're happy to just play kind of from the back here. Camus investing that Trailblazer, spots out 2 players, which is going to trigger Shirazi to put down her utility here. Hookah is not going to be contested by the players of Sapphire until now. And Eri watching. It's going to be Spectre on the ready, and Baby PZ is just not able to really do anything there. Instant read to rotate and reposition coming out already. This one way though, Kohibi being such a menace. Everybody tagged down by the poison orb. It's just Kohibi running that farming simulator. 3 kills on the round already, and SMG, they pull off a flawless on the Eco.
You go rotate at the same time. That set up already from the Viper itself has been there since round number 1. So Kohibi, her expectations, knowing it was a TP out, it was everyone just running through showers here, just hoping and praying that they see someone, they tag someone, and maybe get the plant of the spike come in. But that didn't happen at all because Kohibi was patiently waiting on the corner. 9-5 is gonna be the score line here. One more round, Zach, to get that double digit. And FSS so far, we've seen rounds being closed off by SMG, but it's a very close fight still.
Yeah, 5-9 is not that bad. And now full sense they have their full buy coming in. If they can win this, they're going to be right back into the series. Alexi tries to go for the peak, takes a little bit of damage, but will be able to fall back to safety. Kohibi still being an absolute menace with the Spectre here. Oh my god, Alexi with the Sheriff. Kohibi as well. 2 for the price of 1. Polly and Ginny, though, they're able to trade out and things are back at even numbers. Spike will finally go down, and SMG, they have to retake.
Yeah, the spike here again going in for the heal. That's gonna be Polly fully healed. Not really fully, but 7 HP down to 100 there. 3v3 situation. And Eri, again, this is gonna be a double trouble coming out. But then the reload caught off guard. Camus on the action though. Will take everyone away. And again, a round for SMG.
Camille will, Shirazi and Camille, they're able to do it between them, pick up these upgrades. Camille gets the defuse as well, which will give her the Seekers for the next rounds. And that is a round that Full Sends really needed to win because it was their full buy. They invested quite a bit, and now they should be able to have a very awkward half buy again. It's going to be a timeout call by them. Good call, honestly, because SMG, they are only 3 rounds away from taking map 1. This is their pick, to be fair. We might see Haven be something a little bit more comfortable for Full Sense, but nevertheless, SMG, they're a very momentum-based team. You just do not want to let them steamroll.
Yeah, especially SMG already steamrolled through the first half here, which is probably one of the attacker's side is very difficult, especially here in Bind when you can't make an entry happen, right? So the setups just perfectly aligns for the side of SMG. Again, it looks unstoppable knowing like imagine being thrown off by multiple smokes coming in from a Viper and then a Harbor as well. So it can phase you as a team, but at the same time, here on the defense itself, it seems like Full Sense when they have that duels as well. They get good trades here, but it just so happens SMG and their rotations as well just coincides with the timing and the perfect timing that Full Sense wants to do. For example, a TP going to A, pushing showers. SMG is not phased at all. They don't hyper rotate. They don't overextend.
Yeah, they're just having a blast here. Honestly,
They're just
it looks
chill.
like they're just chill. They're just. It looks like they're just playing a casual game of ranks, except that it's not as toxic as my ranked games get with some of the teammates we have. But that's just me and my luck. Either way, though, once again, Full Sense they're looking to take a hit towards his A side. Alexi does have that operator, still finds a kill, holds down the position despite how far Muffin has gotten into side. Polly though there for the trade, so that's still gonna be a 1-for-1 for Hybe though. The anchor for this U-Haul area, having to watch both sides. It's going to come down to timing here. Not quite going to be able to find it, although Kohibi will take a little bit of damage from the mollies. Now Polly stuck in the corner, hit by the Trailblazer. So much utility just being thrown at these ladies, and it's just going to be trades coming through in favor of SMG once again. Muffin in a 1v2. Coming in is low, finds that first kill, but Kohibi, as always, impeccable recrab. Look at that smile, look at that celebration. Deserved, honestly.
Yeah, and in the end, she thought she defused the spike, ready to run away and get the op for Princess Alexi, the master. Going back again towards the hands of SMG here.
I have a question.
What?
Does Alexi still have her Filipino passport? Because last 2 days it's been failed tondos all the way.
I'll think about it, Alexi. If she allows me to call her princess, why not? First name Princess, last name Alexi. Here we go. SMG so far, very much on their side here, heavily in their favor. But FSS, again, stuck in an economy, brutal economy for the entire games or the entire first game we're looking at here, Zach.
Yeah, it's just the SMG that we've come to know and love over these last few games. Once again, Alexi with the operator tries to go for the peek onto Muffin with the knives. Oh my god, that's a whiff on the Blade Storm. Very, very unfortunate. How is Alexi still alive? Finally going down, but Shirazi is there for the trade, and that was the only real weapon they had. Blade Storm, they do have the spike down though now. They're going to be investing the Sniper's Pit into Blake O'Hivey. Spots out the position of duty. The Facials throw it at her. This is so rough right now. And Neri, the spam through the smoke to get that final kill, and that was just Margot. A 1v4, and Neri takes her down. The first obstacle is going to be where she falls. A little bit of tactical crouching for celebration, and SMG, they get to match point.
Alexi the Turbo Man, number 1. Next Turbo Man on the other side is gonna be Kohaibi. Everyone's just having fun here for the side of SMG right now. You can definitely see the core foundation of this team is really good on the trades. They actually managed to pull off a kill here and there. Even if you see Muffin, for example, trying to go in on the site, executing a site, she knows exactly how a jet plays. She's a jet herself. She knew that this jet wouldn't come out of the smoke and instead wait for the other teammates to pass through. And in that case, she would just rather focus on those enemy players that would pass through next compared to Muffin that is already on the side. Anyway, SMG, they're just 1 point away. Yet again, another kill for Princess Alexi.
Margot already going down. Holly as well. That's both the controllers shut down here, so it's going to be such a difficult task. Alexi, as you said, strikes working, and now it's all down to Captain and IGO. Chinny finds 2 with that spray down, but it's going to be the Blade Storm to close things out. Finally, Alexi getting a knife kill. Maybe not the Tondo you wanted, but it's the Tondo you're getting, and that is going to be some well-deserved celebration. I love you too, Alexi. Now, yeah, that's going to be map number 1 in SMG's favor. To Full Sense's credit, a lot of these rounds were very close, Taylor, and they did win more than any other team has taken off of SMG in this open, but still, that was a stomp from SMG. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, there's no other way to say it and nor to hide it, I would say. But it's a map picked by SMG, so you can expect the comfortability of the players would be there. Strong showing, and not even that though. I would just give credits where credits due here because they broke the record, to say the least here for Full Sense already with regards to the matches that was played out by SMG. That is just the start though. This is map number 1 we just saw, and map number 2 is coming up really, really soon. But before I pass it on to the panel, Alexi, can I see the Cupid TikTok after this match, please? Thank you so much. But right now, we have to pass it on to our panelists to talk about the first game and also to introduce you to our second. Tash and Donut, please do take it away.
Thank you very much, casters. And I was really curious to know where exactly Lil Bro went. But regardless, we have to talk about Bind first, which is honestly a very surprising thing given the fact that the roles as also agent picks here by the members of SMG. Now, it is a very, I would say, a very interesting thing I want to talk about here is rather the combination of the Harbor and the Viper, and also Kohaibi on the Viper. What do you have to say, Donut?
I think Kohaibi played yesterday as a Cypher, and even if she is a Viper now, I think she delivered so well. I think the perfectly timed snakebite, and I recall one round wherein there was a swarm of Full Sense Sapphire members over onto the site, but she kept her calm. She just waited there towards U-Haul, and then everything else was just timing for her when she had to strike back. And it is no surprise at all that for Team SMG we have the MVP, which is Alexi, but you know what, the kills are evenly distributed. Alexi with the 18 kills, but if you take a look at Aneri's score at 17, Shirazi at 16, Cameo at 16, Kohaibi at 17, it all just boils down to Team SMG being individualistic when it comes to their plays, but playing as a team and using all of their utilities for each other. I think this is the best possible way to describe Team SMG now. But for Full Sense Sapphire, we see a bigger performance from Margot with 15 kills, and their controller performance from her was just stellar. But
I mean, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
all of the stats for Team SMG now in favor. Well, look at this. All everything highlighted for Team SMG.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Team SMG's plays, I mean, yeah, I have to agree with you. It is individualistic. It's all about how they are in terms of how they played. I think they were very comfortable with leaving Kohaibi alone on a side and stacking 4 over on B as number one. Number two, you can see certain rounds that they are so confident. They're confident enough to even walk out into B main and challenge them for that space. They completely deny the areas. Now, there are a few rounds that I think that comes very, very close to the point that, the record was broken on attack side of for attack side, sorry, for SMG. And I think that for it shows that even though team of FSS was able to take the lead, coming, it's not a lead, but comes close to SMG when it comes to the game or second half. It really shows that on the second half they already knew how exactly to execute, exactly how to hold. And in the end of the day, it's all about that space denial and the space taken by SMG that's really just catching them off guard. How many times did FSS try to go for the attack or try to go for the execute, and they were caught off guard in the middle of their trying to get onto site, and then they rotate, they pivot out, they teleport onto the other side, and then you already have Kohaibi pretty much set up there and running straight into her one ways. In this situation, I think it's just great reads for SMG in general. It's not a lot about like just individualistic plays, excuse me, but also rather how exactly they play and think for themselves as a team. Regardless, as we go into the second map after this, it's gonna be a good one because it's gonna be Haven. So don't go anywhere. More VCT Game Changers APAC 2023 coming right for you.
Enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Grounded.
On the money.
Spike.
That's 30.
One enemy.
Ultimate ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Toxin screen down.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Get out of the way.
Planted.
Copy kill.
One enemy remaining.
While the record has been broken here on Bind for Team SMG, but they still do take the W. Now coming into map number 2, Haven, which is the pick of Team FSS. Will they be able to take the point back? Tash Bunny here alongside Donut, your analyst. Now for Donut, what are you expecting to see from Haven?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to really catch up on for Full Send Sapphire. And the map of Bind, the first half really went in favor when Margot was stepping up as the controller. Now in Haven, you have 3 sites to protect, and you have to really double down on how you play your defense. They did it so well, but now in Haven, they have to at least triple that. Given that this is their own map pick, we want to get to Pearl for sure. But given how SMG is playing and their ability to be more flexible, like Kohaibi just being the Cypher here playing in the map of Haven, I can't imagine just really penetrating that type of site wherein you have massive damage from a Cypher. But this time, I think what Full Sense really has to rethink here would be how they would play it either slow and steady or fast and quick to try and catch SMG off guard, because it seemed as if that SMG really read the map too well. The rotations, they depicted already what would happen if and when they would see either the Cypher Baby TZ on one side of the map. It means that Baby TZ is on a lurk, and that's why they immediately invest all of the members there on the rotation. So probably changing it up a bit here in Haven has a lot of potential for Full Send Sapphire.
I mean, if you look at stats, I mean, Full Send Sapphire has only played this map 4 times, at least really soon. I mean, just recently, right? And I think, and even that, they haven't played against SMG as well. I mean, even then, when you look at the score lines between a lot of the teams they've played recently, it's come very close. Now for SMG, they've played this map 23 times. And what's more interesting is the fact that if you look at a Swiss stage here in terms of their points, it's very far ahead of the curve. Now I'm really curious. I mean, if for me, if I were a team seeing that kind of score, I would be really deterred to choose this map, even though I'm very comfortable on it because of the potential that SMG can bring. But given the fact that Haven, I think if we remember it from previous situations as well, Full Send Sapphire has been a team to thrive on this particular map. This 3-site might just work well in their favor. Given the fact that it's more sites means less players to worry about on each site. Perhaps they can play going into B quickly, planting, and then moving off the site and playing off main. Or perhaps they could be playing into A and quickly positioning themselves in a position where they're able to really secure that post plant. Again, if you looked at how they played earlier on Bind, so long as Full Send Sapphire manages to get a plant down, I think their post plants have been very massive.
Yeah, I think the reason why they selected this map is they really prepared for this. They've had more successes as a team now with how Full Send Sapphire is built. And even if Team SMG also is very comfortable in this map, they probably have a lot of strategies in their pockets which they can just pull out whenever it is needed. And I guess in terms of the direction that they are going, comfort is going to be key for them, because I don't really think that the rest of the maps are very comfortable for Full Send Sapphire. So that's why they're leaning towards this specific map. But I guess it all boils down to what they will be choosing. At least in the past, Full Send Sapphire, they have been playing a double initiator setup, which I expect them to do so as well here in Haven. But Shirazi picking out that Astra, not the Harbor, is quite surprising because she's been really slocking it at Harbor each and every time.
Okay, now coming into this game and both doing Astras, I understand the intention and why they decide to do that. And we know that the Cosmic Divide can be very huge. They can zigzag through if they want to. It disables any styles or just hinders it. It also provides cover as well as splits the map in half. Now, coming into this game here, Inari will be taking points by playing the Jet. And we know the firepower that Inari can bring on this particular agent. As everyone is rolling back into their usual agents, I'm guessing that for Team SMG, they are starting to really see the potential or understand the firepower or potential that might come into play here by FSS. Regardless, I have so many questions that I want to see answered, whether or not FSS can bring it even close or even take this map away. So I'm going to pass it over to Zach as well as Tay. Ladies, what do you think?
I don't know about you, Taylor, but seeing Inari lock in that Jet on Haven, I'm just having war flashbacks from last year. Like, so many times on Haven, she's just been in these kind of 1vx situations and she just like clutches out. So it's just like, yeah, it's just that's what's running through my head right now. But aside from that, finally a mirror matchup. SMG taking this map seriously. I see Little Bro wants to say hello as well. Hi there.
There. You can see my finger. Hi there. But Wingman wants to say hi, guys, to you, everyone out there who's watching this series right now. Send in your predictions. Is it going to be done and over with? We might be seeing map 3. Who knows? This is a map selection by Full Sense Sapphire right now. And if, you know, like you said, like you mentioned already, seeing Inari on the Jet right now, but as you can see also, Alexi on the Sova is also quite deadly. You put someone who has a mind of a duelist out there on a Sova, she would probably go for intel and go kill as well on the intel that she took. You know?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I feel like almost every single player on this team has like the mindset of a duelist. Like Kwai was like the race
Even
player,
Baby
Shirazi was
TZ.
chamber main.
Yeah. Margot, for example, you saw her on the Brimstone a while ago and she was still able to answer back to SMG. The thing is, what is important right now here, Zach, is that Full Sense Sapphire doesn't have that hindrance of being scared to actually go against SMG. Not think about it any longer and just play in what Valorant game they know right now. Because this is a very formidable team going up against SMG right now. And who knows, we might be seeing map 3 or the first map to be taken away from SMG here. It's just, who knows, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I agree with that sentiment, but I just think it's gonna take a lot of work for it to come to that.
We need a believer. If someone is a believer, you just need one person to believe, and that can work already. But anyway, Zach, it's the entry happening already from the side of Full Sense here. Very open side for them to take.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it's just gonna be the retake attempts coming in for the side of SMG. Already a fast flank for them. 2 players coming in. Baby TZ, that first point of contact, already falling away from that corner, tucking herself away into Cubby instead. As the rest of the team charges forward. Oh no, that's a player in the open. And Eri, she doesn't miss when you give her chances like that. And now Baby TZ and Jinnu, the only 2 left. They're doing work between themselves though. It's all down to Baby TZ. Tries to reposition, but Kohaibi says, look, yesterday I was 29 and 1 on Cypher. Today I'm playing Killjoy. I do not miss on this map. Making a kind of a statement there.
They even give the orb away towards Kohaibi, really gauging on the objectives here. Not only that, but in this initial pistol round, Kohaibi's just 4 orbs away for that ult for the retake. And it's just the first round we're looking at here. And like Japeep said on the comment section, Zach, it's a map of a Filipino. Even it's a map from a Filipino. Princess Alexi was born beside Jeremy from Team Secret in C Cubby, as far as I know. They were born together, same birthdays.
You're probably right, and I'm pretty sure Shirazi is that kind of player you want towards A short, just with Jesse Mash over there.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely feel you there, Taylor. Now though, for the side of Full Sense, they did get the plots, so a little bit more extra money for them to work with. We see pistols coming in across the board for that anti-eco. Kamiyu though, of course, his backside just
One
an
enemy
absolute
remaining.
speed demon menace to deal with
Spike
between her and
down,
Kohabi.
B.
They just completely shut down this push coming out of Full Sense. Now, Baby TZ once again. Last time it was a 1v2. This time it is a 1v5. Spike not under control here. Can she get even one with the sheriff? Yes, Lexi goes down, but Kohabi strikes back, looking to do better on her record from yesterday. I feel like she was kind of sad she didn't get the 30 bomb, but she's already on track for it.
I mean, I only get 10 kills on my rank, right? What else can you ask for? But anyway,
why
the
we're
kills
here, not
coming in here from Kamiyu
Enemy
as
remaining.
well. It's just a complete spray down. Again, you can just utilize the smokes from the team of SMG. They know how to retake, and necessarily, jokes aside from a Filipino map itself, this map is a map for retakes. And if you have a really, really good retake scenario and a retake option or a really good foundation on that retake, you can definitely lopside one map away from a team.
You could. Unless that team is SMG. Like, I just feel like
Blocking
SMG
sight.
at this point is overpowered. It's like that patch that, you know that patch where they made the area insanely broken and
Spike
aim-wise?
down
Oh
A.
my god, Inari, you do not do that with a Marshall. No way. Spots the head of the third player as well, barely taking any damage in the process, and that's two huge kills coming in for the Jet. The third one as
Spike
well, and
down
Neri, you haven't been on the server for that last 4 minutes. This is exactly why finally Muffin buys justice
One
for the
enemy
rest of
remaining.
her fallen teammates, but there's still gonna be such heavy side presence. Now Muffin has to ace this out to clutch it for the team here. Spots out Alexi's position, has a spike in her presence at least, that it's aware of the lane coming in, but there's just so much work for her to do. Shock darts, flashes, the kitchen sink, I don't know, whatever they have, they're throwing them at her, and that buys enough time for the flank and Shirazi to clean house here. Inari with 3 kills on the Marshall, all of them headshots. Yeah, I miss seeing this on the server.
On a Marshall against a full buy, full sense, that was definitely something to look out for here. I mean, as soon as she locked in the Jet, you know that she can be the star of this rounds we're looking at, and so far she has been living to that expectations. 3-0, very, very clean in the side rather as SMG here. They also buy off the operator here in the hands of Inari, as if the Marshall isn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, why not a little bit of an upgrade? She has the money. You know, this is one of the first times I'm seeing a Jet buy full armor and an operator like after 3 rounds, but that's just an area with all the kills she's getting. Of course she can afford it. She's rich at this point. But yeah, SMG definitely being able to pick up those upgrades and improve their buy quite significantly here against the pistols out of Full Sense. This is going to take some very, very heavy lifting. The spike itself going towards this A side where there are 3 players from SMG just lying in wait. It's going to be Mary watching down for short. Alexi
Spike
finds
down
one though.
A.
Polly and Muffin find 2 more. Baby TZ with the 3rd. Huge kills coming in. And Full Sense, what looked like an impossible round for them is suddenly very doable because they pick up all of those guns
Spike
and
planted.
only Shirazi and Kohaimi can stop them.
Not only that, the flash is connecting perfectly in the hands here of Ginny as well, being thrown into the side and really just eliminating the factor of fighting the duels themselves. 3-0 so far, 4 versus 2 situation. Full Sense has full control right now of this post-plant situation. And what else can the last 2 remaining players do here? Kohaimi and Shirazi just waiting for probably those exit frags as well. They want to gauge on that operator, maybe kill it, but Kohaimi was just gonna go for the fight, maybe take or give a lot of damage towards the economy in the hands of SMG here. They lose the operator, and so far, again, that first round is what exactly they needed and what they're looking for.
It's the same on last map as well. They seemed to struggle a little bit initially, but eventually they were able to bring themselves back into it. The problem is that SMG, they're still going to have enough money to buy up that operator, and not just that, they also do have that lockdown to counteract whatever Baby TZ brings to the playing field. A couple of ults that we should be seeing next round, including that Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide, as well as Rolling Thunder on both of these sides here. But again, it's going to be an op versus op battle, and look at who they gave the operator to, Taylor. It's Baby TZ.
Yeah, I mean, she is so far right now, the lurk, or basically the last person remaining from the rounds we were looking at as well. So this is probably good into her hands, but look at this angle isolation play coming in from Polly. Angle diff, I might say, because she had no clue, zero clue idea, but Polly knew everything that's gonna happen.
Yeah, she finds the timing perfectly, crosses over,
Here.
spots the shoulder of Veneri with that operator, and that's going to be a free kill. That's going to trigger a little bit of rotation over towards that C site, though now you do see them eventually coming back. It does look like SMG, they have the A retake setup kind of going on here. Still have control, and now they're going to be positioned to almost immediately sweep in. Lockdown not going to be invested by either side quite yet, though. You can see Kohibi lying in wait with it. The moment she hears the spike, yeah, that's going to go down.
Spike plant.
Counter lockdown being used here. We're building a Venn diagram onto the sides, but then again, spikes planted here, preparing for that post plant. Muffin already getting one kill away out of SMG. They need to respect this lockdown as well, create that space. They have more than enough time to make a retake happen here, but they have to do it as soon as this recon comes in. Alexi good for the shot, maybe even for the second. Just a little dink on the side. 2v4 situation. And of course, Kohibi hops out. Alexi yet again for another kill, but it's a 3v1. She has to win the duels, and that she do yet again. 2v1 situation with very low HP and time's dwindling away as this round closes off and goes towards full sense.
I think Alexi, if she, I don't know if she has the time. I don't think she has the time, but she could have tried to retrieve that operator from C-Long. You can see her kind of going towards that side of the map, but yeah, not much time left for her to really get her hands on it. And now SMG, they might have gotten the first 3 rounds in a row, but already Sapphire, they're fighting back here. They look so much more comfortable now. And honestly, that attack, it seems to have kind of slowed down SMG, because a lot of these rounds, you saw them pushing together aggressively, fighting that pick, being able to trade. But with Neri, I like just forced to watch one particular angle. The moment she goes down on a 3-sided map, it's just so much difficult for the other players to really hold on, and that seems to be the case.
Yeah, knowing it was also an operator that was actually she was holding as well, that just completely eliminates the factor of the operator play here for Full Sense side. They knew there wasn't any trades at all anyway. They picked up on that op, and it's in their favor. It's in their hands. Baby TZ, she knows, she's expecting if there are any nuances, not other than that, anyone who wants to play aggressively, she can catch it off guard. But then again, Alexi spots someone on mid. They might be seeing an Aldrone here to actually try and see how many players are there. 56 seconds left on the time here, Zach.
Numbers advantage still pretty even. You do see the jump peaks coming out from Shirazi. Doesn't quite have the information yet, although it does seem to be a C split coming in. Shirazi, the only player on site, at so much risk of just being punched down. Cosmic Divide invested as well, and now that's going to let side of Full Sense get onto site here. Nothing off the back of that stun, looking to get a couple of kills. But Camille, that's really good work coming in. Shirazi as well, pushing through, finding so much value right now. It's just the operator left now, Baby TZ, in a 1v3, desperately trying to hold on and save it. The spike not in her control either. So at this point, it's just going to be Baby TZ running away to try and hold on to the operator, and SMG, they bounce back.
Still
10
tagged
seconds
though.
left.
That's Baby TZ. She knows exactly the angle she's holding. Power it has, but then again, they really want to shut down that operator setup from the side of Full Sense. SMG doing really good on this rounds yet again. Not other than that, Shirazi and her positioning and even the kills that she was able to get here, very much so impactful for the rest of the team to come by and make a swing happen as well and just completely shut down FSS.
4-2 right now. It's gonna be FSS taking a timeout this time around. And let's take a look at what has worked for them so far. Of course, giving SMG the rope to like really trip themselves up, that seems to be a strategy that has worked for Sapphire. They managed to catch Neri off of position like twice now. Those are the rounds that they've been able to win. And with them finding those initial entries with some coordination and some really nice sharp shots, I gotta say, that's been the rounds that they've won. But SMG, you know, they're not just really cracked aimers. They're also able to just adjust themselves quickly. You saw the more patience coming out of them this time around. And of course, just that stun, the utility that Camille is able to set not just herself, but the rest of her teammates out with, and that Hunter's Fury coming out of Alexi in that last round, it denies any kind of post-ban setup coming out of Sapphire. So it's going to be very quick readjustments from both teams. It just seems like for now, SMG is a bit quicker at adapting. However, Sapphire in the last map, they looked pretty good in that first half. So maybe they can bounce back.
Let's see, as Muffin already has the Blade Storm available. And other than that, Ginny as well has a Rolling Thunder here. That's also available for them to use. But honestly, as Ineri shuts down one of the players, yet again, you lose intel, you lose information. Margot has the Haunt available still, and then she also had the Prowler out. But then again, they have to move a little backwards here as Ineri again tries to pre-fire here. Not other than that, warning shots all across the board.
Yeah, no damage really being done aside from Margot's huge kill being going down, but they still have the Rolling Thunder on Ginny here. That might be what they need to make their way or prevent this diffuse from coming in. Already Seaside has been taken in exchange for Margot's life. That's too bad. Now though, once again, Ineri caught out of position with that operator. Rolling Thunder to try and deny the plant from coming in, but Polly, not quite caught by it, is able to do quite a bit of damage off the back of their own Rolling Thunder though. It's just gonna come down to Camille. 1v1, Muffin versus Alexi, and Muffin is able to close it out. Full sense, they find another round. Precise trades coming in. Despite losing a player right off the bat, they make it work. And once again, the operator, not the best look on that CT side.
Yeah, not other than that, though, we know SMG already is quick on the trades. And again, they are on the defense here in a map like Haven. You still have to assume that this is a triple site kind of scenario where the rotations might be coming in from A, too far off going towards C. And full sense, as fast as they can be and immediately obliterating players inside the site, at least they can take control, they can take the space. Not other than that, really answer back to the firepower that SMG is bringing to the table. But Muffin, yet again, Blade Storm out for her. She sees two people, but because of that, Gravity Well is a little bit of a mishmash. In the end, Full Sense still takes full control here of A.
Now it's only Shirazi and Kohibi left. One with the shorty, one with the Sheriff. Shirazi's position already got to be sniffed out, forced to go in for the reload. And Kohibi on the flank gets spotted out as well. Sheriff in hand knows that Polly is quite close. So if she can find this kill, that's a possible weapon upgrade that is available for her right now. However, at this point, it just seems like the side of SMG, they're just looking for these exit frags. You can see Shirazi also making her way around here.
One enemy remaining.
Gets the kill onto Kohibi, and now they think it's home free, except Shirazi. She's gonna beat that demon in the corner. Finds the first. Here's the second. Looking for the frag here. Will she get it? Is gonna be the question. As Full Sense, they find another round, 4-4.
They know exactly where she is. They just couldn't come out. It's 16
Oh, no
HP
way.
for them. Shirazi still managed to get away with 2 kills out there. In the end, the round is more important, especially for the side of Full Sense here. They picked this map. They are showing great confidence as well in taking those duels against SMG. And so far, for the past 2 rounds we're looking at, Zach, they've been winning those duels as well. Even in those 1v2 situation, you just can't expect that these are also clutch players coming in from Full Sense Sapphire.
Yeah, they're definitely showing why they did manage to win out Elite last year and represent APAC. They're a team that even if they face a loss in that first series, they're happy to kind of bounce back onto this. And now it's 4-4. I think this is the first time we're actually seeing a tight score for Team SMG here. That isn't just 1-1. Now though, Muffin already ready to go in for these frags. Catches 2 players right now and opens up the C side for business. The remaining 3, they don't have any ultimates between them. They're gonna have to just rely on raw firepower and the little bit of utility that Alexi has in her back pocket. Ineri with an op as well makes his retake look incredibly awkward. However, the fact that it's gonna be all 5 players positioning themselves towards long, it might make this doable. But SMG, I think their call is to just go for a save with the clock having run down so far.
Yeah, they would rather go for a save here. Alexi doesn't have anything really. 0 onto her pocket. So they would rather go for a safe play instead of losing this operator yet again. And we've seen that from the previous rounds as well, that it's been difficult for SMG actually to find value really on this operator shots. They may be able to get one here and there, but in the end, Full Sense just rotates around it, plays around away from an area as well. And in the end, they take a free site here. And once the post plant has been set, and you don't have any clue or idea where the other players might be, because we haven't seen a Recon really connecting towards this retakes we're looking at as well, Zach.
Yeah, finally, it's gonna be for Sapphire taking the lead here. Still has that cosmic, still has that nightfall. Sorry to try and retake, with also one off of that lockdown for Baby TZ. On the opposite side, it's just Shirazi with that Cosmic Divide and a Judge here. It does seem like A-side is actually in contact. A bit of conditioning towards that C-side over the last couple of rounds has meant that A-side is looking relatively tasty. Alexi finding that first kill, though, is going to be huge. And now the pressure is on. Muffin onto site. 1-for-1 trade. Polly, though, being able to find these blocks is absolutely insane. Baby TZ catching the flank as well. And now it's all down to Kamiju. Only a Guardian in hand. The Baby TZ says no entry, no retake. And that is going to be Full Sense finding 6.
Not even planted, to say the least, for the spike, and they still managed to pull it off in the very last second to just add more into the economy that they're actually trying to save up here. From looking at how the first map went, knowing that in the end, despite SMG having advantage in that first map a while ago, we still always see that 1v1 situation. So we all know that FSS can truly answer back with the raw firepower duel of SMG. But the question remains, how can SMG react back towards FSS? Because so far, they've been setting the pacing here. They've been setting the momentum against a team that obviously right now is pegged to be the strongest here in Open 2. But to say the least, Zach, FSS, we have a timeout anyway. FSS, they have a lockdown here, a Cosmic Divide in play, and SMG, a little lopsided on the economy as they stick onto the Sheriffs.
It feels so weird to see SMG in these eco rounds that aren't like rounds after pistols, because I don't think we've actually seen them push to that limit over the course of the past 2 days of this Open. It's just credit to Full Sense as to how much they're really able to do here. 6 rounds, by the way, that's a new record being set. Every single round they get after this is a new record being set. But Sapphire, they look fully in control on this map. And this is a map that historically they've been very, very confident on. Our panelists did bring that up as well. And even at that International Game Changers Championship, they were able to push this map into overtime against the likes of a team like Shopify Rebellion. Now the Veneri once again with the Marshall, doing quite a bit of chip damage here, tying Polly down by 101. But in the meantime, the push through B comes in, the split onto A is converging, and unless Aneri and Alexi can work some magic, it's gonna be very difficult. Alexi tries to go for a play through the smoke, but it's gonna be Aneri and Kohaibi, in fact Shirazi as well to boot. It's gonna be the convergence onto the spike here, and rifles picked up as well. 2v2 scenario, no haunts available quite yet, so they're gonna have to play this very, very patiently.
Didn't help really that they were sticking to the smoke here. Not other than that, multiple players sticking through just behind the smoke. And as this smoke is already up, makes it harder for FSS to really take on the spike. Ready for the trade yet again. It's gonna be Kohaibi. But look at this. The goal is to just get the spike and plant ahead. She hears this right now. You see a lockdown as well. Let's see if it's gonna be played out right now, because as we can see, Muffin already updrafting towards heaven here. Not quite sure if Kohaibi heard that as well. She can still set the turret up. She can still have the utilities thrown up above as well. It is a 1v1. Nano Swarm to force out position. And she heard the shot. It's sure. It's gonna be heaven. It's just gonna be playing about time. It's all about that right now. Muffin using all utilities here just to try and face Kohaibi. But in the end, that's what she gets.
Thrifty.
That was so well played by
How
Kohaimi.
about I
Spots
only
the jump
bring a
peaks,
ruler
acts like
next
she's gonna be
time?
sticking it on that first one, and
Last round
Muffin
in
is
the half.
forced to peek to deny that half defuse from coming in. Almost played it to time, played it with time perfection, but unfortunately for Muffin, I feel like that cue that she gave with the updraft was just a little bit too much information, and Kohaimi doesn't even need the lockdown. She's just so confident. She's like, yeah, I got this. Don't worry about it, guys. And just like that, SMG, they jump back into this after that timeout that they took.
It might be a reflex moment where she shot, obviously, the Nano Swarm. And that just confirms it, nevertheless, that it's gonna be heaven for the taking. And again, you have a turret to play for the CT side. But look at this, fast takes coming in from Full Sense as they go full throttle here. Baby TZ already with the first kill towards Shirazi. Now the lockdown has been placed. Kohaimi, now preparations coming in from both sides.
Lockdown versus lockdown here. Inari on the flank as well. Cosmic Divide to boot for the side of Full Sense Sapphire, but that Cosmic Divide only lets Inari take a little bit of space here. Now Muffin gonna be alone on side. They didn't expect it. Oh no, not like this. Lexi caught in the open with her Hunter's Fury, and Muffin slices and dices her sushi time here. Inari tries to go for the Blade Storm for some slice and dice action of their own, but it's not gonna be happening. And Full Sense, they end the half 7-5. Really good work coming out of them, and this is the Full Sense that we've been waiting to see here over the course, Taylor. But before we talk more about that, let's see what our panel had to say. 7 rounds for Sapphire. Wow.
It's been a while since we've seen a situation where Full Sense Sapphire actually takes the wheel, and this is one of them. Thank you very much, Zach and Tay, for that insightful cast. Now, coming back to the game here, I would say that it looked very strong in the hands of SMG in the beginning of the rounds, especially round number 3, where Inari was able to get 3 headshots with just a Marshall, and it seemed to have gone downhill from there. Now, let's talk a little bit about the changes that happened that Full Sense Sapphire was able to do, Donut.
Yeah, I think there were 2 timeouts that was called by Full Sense Sapphire. The first one was really to try and disable them and disarm them with Inari being brought down first. And after that, a few rounds when Baby TZ would always peek out and she would bring down Inari, that's when they had their first stride. During the timeout, the second timeout though, I think what they had covered was both the head and the tail. Head being Muffin, just taking care of everybody else on towards the side, of course, with the assistance of the likes of Margot. But also the tail was very important because Baby TZ had the flank covered. Shirazi nor Kohaimi couldn't even get so close to that type of rotation, and that's why I think those 2 timeouts were very crucial for Full Sense Sapphire.
Right, and I noticed since round number 6 till 9, it was 3 rounds in a row taken away by Full Sense Sapphire. And I think in those situations, again, it was Margot with the multi-frags that have really been fueling up the team. Let's talk about her performance and how exactly she has been in those rounds.
I think Margot really plays a pivotal role, right? Because earlier on, she was the Brimstone. Now she is the Fade. She is going to be the one to provide that actual information to the team members with the Cs. The amount of damage that she can deal as that agent really would try and stop Team SMG from really being so dominating in this map of Haven.
Yep, that's right. And also can start to see Muffin really coming online as well as the Jet. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go for the second half here. So Zach and Taylor, on to you guys.
Second half is what we have right here, Zach. But the question remains, are we going to see possibly a map number 3? So far, it's been going great for the side of Full Sense. They have that 2-point advantage already. And this is their map pick as well.
For sure. However, now though, we're going to be seeing SMG on attack. And remember, on that last map, in that second half, SMG didn't drop a single round. They looked flawless and beautiful while doing it at the same time. Once again, though, it's just very protracted battles in that garage area. Baby TZ being able to find the advantage for her team. SMG, they do get that spike down at the very least, but they're not going to be able to properly repositioned towards long. Shirazi, along
use that
with
yet.
Kohibi, does make it towards that side. So now at least they should be able to hold down a little bit of a crossfire, but numbers advantage, it's still in favor of the side of Full Sense. As I say that though, Shirazi and Kohibi, they find the frags. Now it's going to be just Shirazi in a 1v2. Both of these players are attacked up a little bit. Han getting broken. Vice trying to get isolated, but Margot once again with the pristine aim, a 3K on the pistol, and that is going to be Full Sense extending their lead to 8. Holy.
Margot just bullying out Ginny to go away from the spike so she gets the defuse and the orb itself. Understandable anyway. And an understatement here even. Baby TZ on pistol rounds, by the way, is very, very crazy. You have to be really careful laying smokes in front of her because she can play around it. We've seen it time and time again. She played around the smokes of the Astra, and this time around, she played around the smokes of the Jet itself. 8-5, again, Full Sense here, really showing that this is their map right now. They have the advantage when it comes to the guns, but yet again, SMG never discount the Sheriff in the hands of Ineri. She managed to get a little bit of a damage here towards the side of FSS, but not enough for the kill. Going for the entry, and now a shutdown from Baby TZ.
That's just a little bit greedy of Veneri. Tries to go forward, gets caught by the stun, the alarm bot, the molly, as well as Baby TZ. A little bit too much for even Veneri to deal with. Now they look to go in onto the side. Perfect pull coming out. Shirazi finds a kill. Very awkward interaction here. Finally, Polly able to get that shot in, and now it's Alexi in a 1v3. Sheriff in hand. And it's Alexi with the Sheriff, okay? I'm not going to discount her quite yet. Spike going to be dropped in an awkward position on the site, though. So it's going to be a very, very difficult attempt for Alexi to even get towards it. Haunt to try and gauge out if she's pushing already. Alexi does have a recon of her own to spot these players out. Does get instantly destroyed, though. And now it's just all of them playing towards his backside. Margot with the off angle to boot Alexi, though. First kill coming in already. 30 seconds left on the clock. 2 bullets in the magazine. Can she get the clutch of the tournament? If she pulls it off, Soldier gets spotted out, and that's just a distraction as Polly goes for the swing. Yeah, and it's going to be Full Sense finding themselves at 9. Super good anti-eco coming out of them, but SMG, they do a decent amount of damage as well.
True, especially they have good reads against Full Sense here. You can definitely see Alexi after that initial pick off for the 1v3 situation that she was already looking in the eyesight and eye lines of Muffin there on the backside. But in the end, again, a Sheriff versus obviously the players waiting patiently for her to go into the site. She will have troubles, definitely. 9-5 is the scoreline here, ladies and gents. Ineri doesn't need the kill, but Kohibi does it for her as well. She goes for the dash in just to get space here. Ineri yet again through the smoke. They have to be really careful through smokes here because of how situations were in the past rounds. But look at that, Ineri yet again. A beautiful shots coming in from SMG, and Shirazi to the rescue as well.
Finally, signs of life from this SMG Ross. The first run that they've won in a while, and that is going to be a flawless one to boot. You're still behind, guys. I wouldn't do that if I were you. FSS gets quite pissed, but anyway, maybe that's the motivation that SMG really needed to jump back into this. Shirazi in particular has been so frag-worthy across the series on that controller role here, but the rest of the team as well, they're definitely able to step up huge, and already Shirazi has that Cosmic Divide, so maybe CZ one away from that lockdown as well. A lot of ultimates that are pretty close to coming into play here. This round should be very exciting.
Yeah, this round should be very indeed exciting for us to see. SMG 6-9, nice. Anyway, Ineri on the other hand goes for another take here on A Long with the help of Shirazi. They managed to pull off a kill onto Sewers as well for V5 situation. Drone setup from the side of SMG, trying to spot if there's anyone on the cubby, but Margot waiting patiently in the right side. Will they check? They go for the check, and Kohibi gets the kill, and now it's gonna be diversion for Full Sense. 3v2 situation. They tried to fight Baby TZ for the triple, and now it's all down to 1. Baby TZ still managed to pull it off with a 4K, and the clutch settles in.
Oh, that was just gorgeous shooting coming out of Baby TZ, as well as her teammate on site. I believe that I think it was the Astro? I'm not quite sure, but either way, Baby TZ, yeah, it was Polly. Baby TZ and Polly between them just destroy the onslaught of SMG coming onto site, and just that quick rotation coming out of Sapphire. They are so adaptable. The moment that call comes in, they make their way onto site, and they don't let SMG get them a chance to set up at all, because you really don't want to let that Astra, Killjoy, and Sova get into that post-plant utility playstyle. Instead, they just go for the site instead, and now it's going to be Muffin finding that first frag with a really aggressive push taking.
Precision is key, and so far it has been precise for the side of Full Sense here. And Neri, she tried dashing away, but still caught here by Full Sense. They might get a full retreat from the side of Full Sense here, as the aggressiveness onto A main is a little bit dwindling. It's dwindling down, basically. 5v4 situation. Not only that, Full Sense has retake capabilities here, a Nightfall, and even a Lockdown. Very powerful for a retake scenario. Not only that, position-wise, Zach, very deep on C long. And they know that there's not going to be anyone on C. They have garage control. They have B as well. This is an A hit they are anticipating.
My ultimate is ready.
Ivy though, able to find that opener onto Muffin is huge. Nightfall coming in now, that's gonna cut the sound because Alexi finds a kill with the shock dart to Margot immediately there for the refrag. The recon bolt giving away the position, caught with the reload as well. The Margot is still able to get away
30
with
seconds
her
left.
life. Now that's gonna leave them in a 3v2, and Baby TZ is still alive, still has his lockdown. Alexi, it doesn't have the kill either, no Hunter Sphere available. They're gonna be forced to play off of sight or go for the push. That they're
enemy
debating what to do.
remaining.
Alexi though
Player
goes
standing.
for the push and finds 2 kills off the back of that. Now it's gonna be a 1v1. Cosmic Divide invested by Shirazi as well, though already you can see Baby TZ pushing past it into the corner of the site. The reposition is immaculate, and now it's Baby TZ looking to try and stick the spike here.
Oh, they
coming
know.
in though. Yeah, they know that it's not gonna be stuck here. And Shirazi playing this 1v1 to perfection, buying as much time as possible here. The clock already having run down. Half the defuse come through. Baby TZ trying to stick it. Already though, the wallbang damage is just immaculate, and the run and gun from Shirazi will close out the round, denying 11 for SMG, and they are still in it to try and 2-0.
What an outplay from Shirazi right there. Calm,
Alexi.
cool, collected, and then you see Alexi on the other side of the map going crazy with the shots. And because of that, honestly, because of these kills coming in from Alexi, this gave the chance, the opening for SMG to really punish site, and not only that, prepare for the post plant. Good utilization coming in from Shirazi. Like I said, calm, cool, collected. She knew she had a gravity well that she can pull. She knew that she can jump peak. She knew it was a killjoy she's looking after, and she knew she had the upper advantage.
Yeah, she played that round to perfection. Now SMG looking on the opposite side of the map towards the C side, and Eri with the Blaze Storm will be able to sweep onto site, and it looks like a full retake setup coming out of the side of Team Sapphire here. They are going to be on an equal to group, so any kind of kill they get is going to be huge. Eri with the Blade Storm looking for these kills, finds the first, but the counter trade is there from Muffin. Lockdown going to be invested as well by Kohibi to push them off of side if possible. You do see Muffin trying to push forward to break it, but that's not going to be happening. Now, the last 2 players for the side of Full Sets, they're going to be caught in the open already. A lot of damage being tanked. Kohibi finding a kill in the garage. Utility as well. It's just too much for Full Sets to really contend with here. That should be an 8th round coming in very comfortably for the side of SMG.
Kamiyu, on the other hand, just really waiting for the exit from the players of Full Sense. But at this point, they can't really do anything right now. Instead, die off from the spike itself. They try to go in for the kills and really try to punish players here in the side of SMG. But then again, you have a lockdown. They know exactly the corner where the lockdown wouldn't be. They know, and they used up the aftershock just to force out players from that position. And again, SMG utilization of skills so far and utilities is up to par. And Full Sense, they might go for a timeout right now to completely reset, refigure out, go back to the drawing board, and see what they can do to stop SMG again steamrolling this game.
They are looking to make a comeback here, and now Sapphire, they have their full buy coming in. They are two off the Rolling Thunder, Cosmic Divide online as well, and they need to take a timeout. They managed to play super well so far, keeping up their lead against a team like SMG, but now SMG, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. They managed to get two crucial ultimates online as well, both the Hunter's Fury as well as the Rolling Thunder available for the next round. So they're going to have to be very careful how they play this because SMG, they have that economic buffer after their last two wins. But Sapphire, if they lose this once again, their money, it's not going to be looking very pretty.
Yeah, that's why you also see them going for those half armor play. Very Zeta NRG division kind of play scenario here, going for half armors in the hands of all the players. Again, SMG, they need 2 rounds to make it even against Full Sense, a map that they chose right now, showing great dominance and great control. And so far, Muffin has been performing exceptionally as well.
Still gonna be holding down the angle, distracted by the recon. They know where she is. She's still trying to play aggressive though, not able to connect the shots this time around. Will be forced to expend the tailwind to get off sight into safety. Now it's gonna be the Rolling Thunder coming into play. Muffin sitting in her own smoke. Gotta be caught by that Hunter's Fury as well as the Neri though. 2 kills already off the back of the round. Really good trade for the ultimates right now. And just like that, once again, SMG, they have the sight. Oh. The flanker gets flanked. Shirazi, as always, impeccable with the timings.
The flankers get flanked. Well, didn't hear that. And obviously, right at that point, she wasn't looking as well. Free kill. 5v2 situation. Full Sense. They might go for a retreat here. Save up the guns they have as well. As economy, like you said from a while ago, not really in their favor right now, especially moving forward here. We might be seeing them on an eco disadvantage or a half buy moving forward as well. But SMG, it seems like they're hunting them down. They want to finish this round with no one being alive in the hands of Full Sense here. I mean, it's a round for SMG already. They want to just, go off and save the gun.
They do manage to do that, and that's gonna be very important in the next round because if they can trade their teammates who don't have the ideal weaponry for kills from the side of the from the SMG players, that's gonna be what they need. They didn't manage to at least bait out every single ultimate that SMG had in their pocket, so it's just gonna come down to the gunfights right now. Unfortunately, Muffin, having expended a Blaze Storm in the last couple of rounds, won't have anything to work with, and in fact, you are seeing a force coming out of the side of these Sapphire players. High risk, high reward play, but they are going to be trying to buy around the rifles that the other 2 team members saved in this particular round. SMG, they're changing up the pace once again. We saw them go for those fast CNA executes, and now instead they're just waiting patiently for Muffin's aggression, which seems to be expected on this A site right now.
Muffin, yet again, from A long. She spots someone. Woo! That's gonna be Neri. Taken away. Good on the shot, Muffin. What a kill.
Absolutely brutal shot coming in. That was just like a peek out, hello there, goodbye kind of situation. I didn't really barely saw her. But yeah, that's gonna give first blood to the side of Sapphire. Now, again, the holding game. A doesn't seem to be working for the side of SMG, so they look to pivot towards C instead, where there is only an Astro on site, but there's a turret in Garage. It's going to give away quite a bit of information. BabyTZ will rotate over to try and teammate up here. Oh, but the tanking of the Molly, that's going to get a huge kill for SMG, and suddenly the numbers are equalized once again.
Numbers are equalized, like you said. Alexi took a little bit of a damage there. They need to clear out the haunt, but they managed to not do that because of the blind. Perfect setup for the retake here, Zach. You have a haunt connecting to everybody. They wanted to actually deny that haunt, but the perfect flash coming in from Ginny. It was the ultimate teamwork makes the dream work scenario.
Yeah, now SMG only 2 rounds away from losing their almost impossible win streak, in all honesty. They've cleared it out for so long, but they're only 2 rounds away from being pushed into a 3rd map, and that's going to trigger the second timeout here. And let's take a look at how Full Sense are playing this, right? You have Muffin constantly pushing the limits on that A side. Sure, sometimes she goes down, but she gets a lot of information in exchange, if not just the kills. And off the back of that, it's just the C side being held down by Astra and Killjoy Utility. There's just no safe space on the map for SMG to really attack, and they're being made to pay in blood and sweat for every single inch that they take.
Timeout it is, I guess, for SMG. A little bit not comfortable now, I would say, for the strongest team that we have here in Open 2, going up against the reigning queens, basically, from the last season that we had here of Game Changers. And as we head on to this final, basically, moments of the rounds, it's either Full Sense loses, control, gets stuck in an 11, or SMG really just doesn't win this map that was chosen by Full Sense, and we might be seeing Pearl. You know what? I'm not complaining. It is a good game anyway, Zach, and I would love to see it as well.
No, I don't want to see Pearl. I have nightmares of Harbor Viper Walls. I hate that map. I hate playing it. It's annoying to cast it, but I wouldn't mind watching a little bit more of these two teams facing off, even if it is on Pearl. But my map bias is apart. Just a reminder, SMG, they are 37 map wins in a row, and Full Sense are only 2 rounds away from breaking that streak for them. Already though, for the side of SMG, they are still going to be able to buy up, and now they're trying a route that they haven't quite tried before, which is that B side. In fact, it does seem to be a push from B towards A. There's still gonna be Margot, Muffin, and Ginny to try and head it off if they decide to go that far. But now after seeing that resistance, it's just gonna be the B side plants coming in instead. Already Aneri caught off guard here in position. Alexi and Camille though there for the cleanup. The trades coming in favor of Sapphire here. And now once again, it's gonna come down to Shirazi to be able to clutch it out. Rolling Thunder into play, has to hit the headshot, but concussed. She cannot do anything. And Sapphire, they find match point, 1 away from ending SMG's domination over APAC so far this year.
Match point it is, ladies and gents. Full Sense right now. Like you said, just 1 win away from taking us to map number 3 here. But other than that, again, Baby TZ really good on the isolation of the fight. She knows her strengths. She uses the architecture even of the entirety of the map just to play it out in her favor. And yet again, they even used up the Rolling Thunder there. Was it worth it at that point? You have to do what you have to do to just really get the rounds that we're looking at. Anyway, for this next one, they will still have that Cosmic Divide available. Another brand new round for SMG to try and pick up the pace. Because so far, Muffin has this operator in her hand and it can be deadly.
Look, it's Shirazi in a 1v2, okay? She's gotten too many clutches. I wouldn't risk it either. I completely support Full Sense using that Rolling Thunder because Shirazi does not miss unless you have to hit her with a lot of utility. But either way, it does seem like SMG, they're looking to walk their way into B-side once again. They have that extra control on the map. There is going to be a late flank coming in, but Ineri caught off guard. Just a bit of a jet tip coming in, and that's going to be that flank taken out as well now. The players of SMG, they're going to be caught onto the site. Once again, they're looking to fight this A-link area heavily. Oh, the concussion as well to see along with the haunt. 1-for-1 trade so far. Ivy and Alexi, the holding strong here. Muffin finding a kill with the operator, the right click as well. And that is the end of SMG's domination. 37 maps is all they will get. And we are going to Pearl for map 3 as Sapphire do what everyone called impossible. Oh my god, what a game out of them.
Even gods bleed, and that happened in this game that we just had right here. Full Sense winning up the map that they chose against SMG here in even a very dominating fashion, to say the least, here on the second half itself. Performance has been phenomenal. Muffin on that jet is just crisp, I would say, Zach. Wingman's happy. Map 3.
Yeah, I hope we see some wingman action coming in on that map as well. But yeah, just for me, Baby TZ was a standout player on this map. And with that, Sapphire have proven that gods can bleed. However, to break down the rest of the map, we're going to toss it over to our wonderful panelists.
ends the reign of SMG, but Full Sand Sapphire showing us that they came here to play. Tashman alongside Donut, your panelists here, and we are here to break down the game. Now, coming into the second half of the game, I think there's a lot of talking about here, especially since we start to see the strain coming through for the side of SMG. I thought that we will start to see a power spike coming through from them, given the fact that we wanted to see a Neri come online, but we didn't see that happen. Any thoughts on why that is a thing?
I think SMG strengths are also Full Sense's strengths. So when it comes down to the playstyle, right, the type of aggression, the coordinated pushes, that was also imprinted to us by Sapphire. And initially, right, there are just some factors and some things that were changing mid round, and those were the timings, the available ultimates, the calls of Jenny each and every time she flashes. Team SMG, they were just caught off guard. And when it comes down to either fighting or flying away, Baby TZ just really is there to put up a fight. And that's the reason why she is going to be the MVP for the team, really fighting her way each and every round. And if you take a look at her deaths, that's 23 and 12 deaths. Just really trying her best to control everything on towards the site, ensuring that she saves the gun so that they will have the firepower moving on to the next one. And Haven, there's a reason why they selected this, and Full Sense just really showed us why.
Yep, and just now we were talking about the history of the map where SMG played this map more than Full Sand Sapphire. Well, we can only just go from Rickards, but I don't know what they have had in mind, and I think this was exactly why they chose this map. And I really want to talk about Baby TZ in general, as brought to my attention by Zach. While Baby TZ's positioning, especially around 16, has been phenomenal, it was mostly about how she played in terms of holding, and that's why I really start to see her shine on defense side. Now, if we saw her see her play on the site itself, you saw her start to take this multi-frags. She knows how to be very quiet, and if you see her play on separate maps, this is including Ascent last year, she is always the one who knows how to wait for the right moment to swing out. And I think in this situation, she's just been trying to move away and just play out of everyone's cues, while everyone else from SMG was distracted by other members or even util. She'll be there to really swing out. On top of that as well, there are so many times where Baby TZ has managed to catch an area off guard whenever she's trying to go in for that flank. In this situation, it felt like at certain points, SMG had no choice on had no idea how exactly to approach the game in terms of how to commit to a site. Regardless, we are coming to the end of map number 2. We're gonna go to map 3. I'm really excited for this because this is where we might see the fall of SMG or the rise of Full Sand Sapphire. See you guys in a little while.
Last player.
Flash out!
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. 30 seconds left.
Looks like
One enemy
my
remaining.
ultimate is ready. Here. No more.
Last player standing. Down A.
Now.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
3.
Enemy remaining.
My ult's ready. What's this?
domination of Team SMG has stopped, and full sense showing us that they are here to play. Tashman alongside Donut, your analyst for today, as we are moving into map 3, which is going to be Pearl. And Pearl is such a, since this is not the updated map, this is going to be the previous patch where B long has not been fixed quite yet. Now coming into this game, Donut, what do you think are the game plans for both these teams?
Well, we can't now put it and base it on stats, right? Because Haven just really turned things around for Team SMG. Full Sense Sapphire just really gripped that win because of the amount of control that they were able to do. And it was just a mix of utilities in Haven. That's why they were able to get that 13 and 9. But Pearl, as a decider, that might be something of a banger for us. I mean, when it comes to Team SMG and their win, the recent win against Full Sense Sapphire here, they got a 13-2. And given that loss, right, I don't know if they are able to pick their mental back up. And after just losing all of that domination, would they be able to at least show us the real strats that they have in our pockets,
That's
in their
right.
pockets? So now Pearl as a decider might really be impactful. If Full Sense really gets this win, then that will be a big statement.
I think for set plays, Full Sense definitely has it in the bag. When you see how they play, they're like perfect cogs in a machine. SMG is more about firepower and overwhelming the enemy team. Now, given the fact that Full Sense Sapphire does have some set plays in mind, I'm already sort of expecting to see either a KO or even a Viper Harbor. We've seen that Viper Harbor play before. It worked very well for SMG. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to do it again. Now, coming into this game as well, Pearl is very tricky to navigate, because if you think about Pearl, it's all about not only just controlling main, but also the idea of mid link, coming into B or even A sites. And if you control the entire link between both the mid areas, it gives you full control of most of the map. And I think for SMG, when they are more proactive in taking up space and holding it, they have had like a better chance in playing that way. But given the fact on how exactly Team Sapphire plays, all about that smokes, all about that double initiators, all about control, they might be having a problem. So I think that if they still want to play the whole overpowering firepower game, they need to be able to go for isolates, get those picks before finally committing to the site itself. B-Long is definitely still very viable if they decide to play that Harbor Viper pick. It gives them full access to B-Long, cuts the site into half, allows them to plant and play from long.
Yeah, but looking at the how Team SMG usually would select their agents, Inari is gonna be the Reyna, while Alexi is the Jet. So something different here is Kohaibi being that Killjoy. We saw her be effective as the Cypher, but earlier in Haven, I think she did try her best. It's just that she was just outplayed by Baby TZ in a lot of those rounds. So now, I think you have a good point there, whether or not they were gonna select that double controller setup, which for sure Full Sense Sapphire is very known for. But a good counter to that is just sticking to the double duelist,
Right.
because if your strength is really that aggression and you try and hold that back with just selecting two initiators, then Team SMG might struggle yet again in this map.
If you want to go the double duelist side, we have seen Bleed from MYSG do it in their challengers, and it shows a lot of strength on Pearl. But I'm not sure if that is going to be the case, seeing that Shirazi is going for that Viper. So coming into this game, Alexi will be the one running initiator, and it's going to be Kamiyu on the Harbor. So we are going to be seeing this play, and I think they're not going to stray too far from the set play that we are already expecting. Surprised to see Gecko here. This is gonna be very good news for our casters. They seem to love Lil Bro so much, and with the KO, so I think with Margot and KO will be huge, because it disables this set play that is gonna be put in here by SMG. But if SMG is smart enough, they can just wait for the knife to come through, and then finally doing that set play.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited to see what Shirazi and Cameo have in store for us as the double controller. We would usually see that type of selection from the likes of Pulse and Sapphire, but given this, the amount of control was lost in Haven. Now they want to regain it for sure.
Yep. But for now, let's throw it over to our casters, Lil Bro, Mom, and Dad, Zakate. Go ahead, guys.
Lil bro has to go because he's gonna be used. I'm so sorry, Wingman, but you have to take a rest because you're gonna be played out this time around. And in the favorite map of Zach Pearl is gonna be the third map that we have right here. We've seen new the meta, which is basically the Harbor setup and the Viper, and then you see the Gecko on the other side. Thoughts on this, Zach?
Honestly, I love it, but I'm not too confident about Sapphire's chances on it because, see, in Open 1, in the SMG and Sapphire did face off on this particular map, and it was 13-11 in SMG's favor, but it was the closest that anybody until today had gotten to taking a map off of them, and that was with the Harbor, that was with a completely different comp. They were running Muffin on the Neon, they had an Astra, they had like a very kind of they had a Fade and a Breach coming in along with the Astra, so it was a very different comp. And the comp that they're running right now, they played in the Swiss stage, and they ended up losing 13-4. So statistically, I feel like this is a comp that Sapphire haven't been able to really find success with in the past, but it's only been one try. Maybe they've been able to go over WODs, learn from their mistakes. And I honestly, if Wingman wins today, I think it's just a W for everybody. Little bro, you have our love and respect, but heading into this pistol, it is gonna be this A side that's this point of contention. Already 3 players from SMG are just waiting for someone to walk into their crosshairs here. They hear the sound cues, but I think that for Sapphire, they're just like, nope, we don't want this site.
They're just waiting for any reaction coming in from the side of Full Sense and or rather the side of SMG as well. And at the same time, there's still a waiting game when it comes to the knife of the KO here from Margot, for example. And diverting some of the players actually in some of the other locations as well might be a good plan here to really put in the pressure in the hands of SMG. 2 tags from the Dizzy. He knows exactly where it's gonna be. Muffin and Baby TC to the rescue after that. And again, good follow-ups coming in from Full Sense.
Spike planted.
Finally, Shirazi finding a kill of her own here. Watching the cross. Doesn't expect Muffin's positioning though, and she is able to clean up that kill. It's all down to Kohaibi. We've seen her come in clutch before in the past. Knows the position of 2 players towards Art. Finds the first, isolates the 1v1, but now has to try and go in for the defuse. Instead, we'll be looking to take up even more space here. And it's just going to be Jinny finding that final kill. First round, the pistol once again going in the favor of Sapphire. A very, very good start for them.
Good start indeed. Exactly what they need right now, especially coming from the momentum and the high they got from the second game that we actually had a while ago. Not only that, because of the Dizzy as well, this gave out full intel, full info from the players of Full Sense that there are 2 players on the backside. And again, you have a double innie setup anyway. Having a Gecko here on this kind of scenario, you just have to have that double innie or else it wouldn't work. And like you mentioned, they might have pulled out this composition before it didn't work out in their favor, but they also might have polished it already.
I'm just happy to see Little Bro in action. We really don't get to see enough of this particular agent. Now though, it's gonna be a Neri with the shorty looking to push up with the rest of the team towards mid, aggressive mid control. It's something that SMG they like to do on this particular map, especially in these eco rounds. And for the side of Full Sense, they're just waiting outside this A site. Not gonna be caught out by the turret. They know that there's gonna be a flank incoming, and they look to go into the site, and that dash is going to save Margot from her disruption. Neri with the shorty looking to rush in. Can't quite get the weapon out in time though, and now it's just Baby waiting down the flank, waiting for the cavalry. Between her and Polly though, they managed to pick up everybody, and that's gonna be a flawless coming in for the side of Sapphire. Really, really clean round coming out.
Yeah, they tried to put on the pressure there, but in the end, you have to go up against Bulldogs, against Spectres that can spray you down. And again, Baby TZ is a type of Sentinel that we have right here that doesn't just let you pass through flanks, and she is ready to take on duels and trade-offs as well. Moving forward, though, this is gonna be the official buy round of SMG side. Though Alexi have on the armor itself, they try to take on the intel here. The information game is on play. Using up the Dizzy as well. Good on them because they can still pick it up quite easily as well.
Gonna be the Harbor High Tide though that comes up, denying a further push coming out of these players on Sapphire. They've been usually you see teams kind of hitting that B side on Pearl until it stops working, but in the case of Sapphire, they're kind of taking the opposite strategy. Now they're gonna be looking towards the other sides of the map. They've conditioned this A side quite well, so you already see 3 players from SMG stacking up towards it, especially since Polly is still gonna be here. That flash will detect her as well. And you already see Henry kind of itching to push out off the back of that flash. Multiple players coming in, and Alexi will be able to find the kill. That does bait out enough sounds though, and the spike itself heading towards this B side instead, where there is still quite a bit of pesky killjoy utility available.
Preparation for that retake is what exactly SMG is doing right now. Kohaibi spots someone from B long, but at the same time, they take control already for full sense. Ginny, she's trying to go for the spray down. This is going to be a deadly crossfire they're looking at. Ginny goes down as well in the hands of Alexi here. Shirazi on the other hand tries to go for the kill, but didn't get it in the end. SMG had the better guns. Again, positioning wise, they have to figure out where FSS were, and they actually did that.
Yeah, super good trades coming in from across the board here for the team. So they will finally find their first round and hold on to 3 guns while at it. Alexi will also be able to find her Seekers and get them online for that next round. So SMG, they do have an ult to work with, but Sapphire, they have 2, one of which is Thrash. Though I have not really seen a player get detained by that particular ult quite yet, so I am looking forward to it. I've seen people, so they have a lockdown and Thrash. It's just gonna be like 2 detained ults that could go out simultaneously. Just food for thought.
Yeah, it can happen. Maybe for today, it can also happen. Again, it's all about the timing anyway when it comes to the Gecko, when they can utilize the trash specifically as well. Using up, again, the wingman to try and punish anyone who's going aggressively, followed up by the Dizzy to try and see even if there's someone waiting patiently. They take full control onto A main, put down the lockdown as well, and SMG has to respect this.
Yeah, they have nothing with which they can really break it here. Muffin, though, through the smoke is going to be tagged up quite a bit. In fact, Inari able to find a kill just with spams. That's going to be numbers advantage taken. Now they're going to be caught off guard. Still able to almost find the kill. The Gecko finally strikes here. Unfortunately for the side of Sapphire, they still have backup. The Geckos trash by strike, but the team protects them. Now it is going to be a 1v4 for poor baby TZ. We've seen her come in clutch before, but you know, SMG, they're so careful about things now. They even put down a cove to make sure that spike defuse would go on without too much difficulty. And just overall, a really, really good run. Once again, you see the team synergy coming in, just being able to coordinate. Camille finds, but there's a lot of damage on one YB, and Drazi are there for that protection, and that's going to be protect the president, but on the opposite team now.
Probably they can hear the scream like, help me, I'm tagged, I'm stunned, and that's exactly what's probably happening in the back end of the scene. But like you said, SMG, they're taking it slowly this time around. Cannot be too confident, especially going up against Full Sense, and especially we are here on a map, or on a decider map we are looking at. Full Sense takes control of A main, but not really much, not an intel, not a single player that wants to go play aggressively. They probably go also for a retake and leave Polly for the time being here on A.
Blinded.
Muffin is 1 off of the Bladestorm. I'm surprised they didn't try to go for the orb, especially since that orb on A side is so accessible. But instead, they're just trying to play patiently. Now in the corner, it is going to be Inari being able to find a kill of her own. Still gets taken out and traded by Baby TZ, though that's going to be one more gun that the rest of the team can pick up. And Polly as well, hitting an absolutely insane shot towards Shirazi with that Guardian. things down to a 3v3. Unfortunately, there's going to be no healer available for the side of Full Sense to get back into full HP and fighting shape. Kawhi be forced to watch towards mid. That means that the B side is going to be more or less open, but there is still some mollies and the turret as well to boot. So I feel like
30
we're
seconds
going
left.
to see Timmy the turret kind of pop off here.
Timmy the turret might pop off, but on the other hand, Wingman already wanting to plant the spike. They're prepared for this. They set up traps coming in from the swarms to try and deny this plant. Ginny, on the other hand, will do it herself. Not gonna be able to pick up the Wingman any longer as time is dwindling away, and entries coming in left and right. Ivy on the side,
enemy
Wally to
remaining.
get a kill here, but then a 2v1, a Wingman, or not a Wingman, but then Kohaibi just hops out. Again, Ginny stuck in a position you don't want to be, especially in a 1v2.
Oh, that's going to be another defuse coming in for SMG, and they're looking more and more comfortable on this defense side. Sure, the first two rounds didn't exactly go the way they expected them to go, but now not only are they able to supercharge up these ultimates, they're going to be able to get Inari, that operator, as well. And so far, I gotta say, SMG, they look much more confident than they did on Haven. This is the decider map, after all, not a pick coming out of the side of Sapphire, and this is a map where they've been able to beat Sapphire twice so far just this year, so something that they got to be keeping in their mind.
Yeah, but they also have VODs, Zach. So maybe going back to those mistakes, they learn from it. I mean, I guess I'm a Full Sense believer at this point right now, especially with how SMG is very strong in this tournament as well. But look at this, confidence coming in from Full Sense, walking through wards or towards B long here, with the knife settling in as well. This cancels a little bit of a utility play, but Neri getting cancelled out. Good on the shot. It's going to be Muffin yet again. 2-1 trade, and the lockdown has been placed.
Spike planted.
Oh, Polly finds a kill though onto Shirazi. That's gonna be huge. And oh my god, the utility combination might be enough to break that lockdown. It does strike, in fact. Both the Gecko and the Killjoy mollies are enough to take it out. Now, 2v4 scenario. I do not know how this retake is going to work out, especially with this reflank coming out of
enemy
Ginny.
remaining.
It might just be the safe call on the operator, but already Ginny able to take down Kohaibi there. That's going to be a huge kill. And now Kamiyu all alone in a 1v4, holding onto the operator for dear life. At least Ginny has fallen away, so she should be able to save this weapon. But a meticulous, beautifully planned execute from Full Sense will net them their third round on the board.
They were really heavily gauging on that lockdown and didn't expect that the lockdown would be destroyed by some swarms. And in the end, 3-3, they managed to save the operator here in the hands of Kamiyu, to say the least. But then it gets a little bit more scary for SMG's side, because you can definitely see that Full Sense actually has good reads. Not only that, but the pre-fire on positions where SMG are actually staying.
Yeah, SMG, they're looking a little bit shaky. They do still have that operator that they managed to retrieve, and of course Shirazi has that Viper's Pit available along with that Judge, so we're gonna be seeing that coming into play, both of them towards this B side. But you know, I think that for the side of Sapphire, Muffin has been so insanely impactful today. Round after run, she's able to get those crucial entry frags and just pop off after that. I think that she is the difference maker here for Sapphire that they really need on their attacking half. Now Cosmic Divide going to be invested by them to try and make their way onto site. It is going to be, though, a barrage of utility coming in from both of these teams here, trying to deny something. Shirazi still anchoring down the site with the help of her Viper's Pit, and it's going to be very difficult to get that site down at all.
Oh, Knockman has been used here. Marco goes for the pop flash, connects perfectly, but then the shots just coming in. Alexi for the triple already, trying to look for another, but Baby TC will find her instead. For B1 situation, it's all up to Baby TC to manage the spike being planted and being diffused. And now Inari with a double up kill, especially from that KO a while ago, and the final blow towards Baby TC to close off the round.
And Inari finally showing why she is such a feared player with that operator. She looked a little bit shaky on Haven. You know, I think that our analyst just mentioned that she was kind of alone, unsupported out there with that weapon, but now the rest of the team is behind her. And Inari on her own is a scary player, but Ineri, when you set her up to frag out, is just terrifying. And SMG, they seem to be finally on that road to unlocking that potential. Once again, Alexi with the Seekers available here. And on the opposite side, Thrash is back. So now we're not just going to be seeing some cute Wingman and Dizzy. Thrash is also here to join the party.
A mad trash can actually come over and see if he can stun anyone. But let's see, it starts off with the trade or the kill coming in from Muffin. Immediately like that, complete shutdown towards the traps from the Sentinel. And Neri moves further as the trash is also settling in. But the pressure towards art control here is definitely there. Full sense takes full control yet again of situation. Lots of trades happening here and there, but the Seekers gets away intel towards Alexi. In the end, she doesn't win the fight. Muffin going for the ace. Is it gonna be the first? No, it's cursed. 2v1.
Nobody's gonna get anything more than a 4K these days. That's what I feel like. And now Shirazi, 1v2, knows the positioning of one of these players at the very least, but there's just so much utility that she will have to get through. The mollies, of course, from Baby TZ buying so much time. Taps the spike, expects one towards main, but instead it's just gonna be Baby TZ finding that final kill and bringing Sapphire back to a 4-4 scoreline and keeping things competitive here. Oh my, Muffin just absolutely slayed that round. 1, 2, 3, 4. And especially that last kill that she got while she was tucked into that backside there. Just insane.
The ace at this point of the map is unachievable. No one got an ace for today. It's always up until 4 kills and then the rest is a curse happening and not connecting the shot. But anyway, like you said, Muffin yet again popping off here in this map that we have here, map number 3. With this, you have to adjust yet again, especially for the side of SMG. They are on a half buy here. You are looking at Guardians, Vandals, and a classic, or not a classic, but a Sheriff in the hands of Alexi. But we all know what that can do, right?
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah. We know exactly what it can do. That's the perfect demonstration. I was just waiting for her to get a shot. I was
Perfect
like,
demonstration. Thanks, Alexi.
Yeah, Princess striking a hardcore here. Ginny though able to get that refrag as she walks right into halfway almost through the spawn and finds that kill onto an area there. That's going to be shutting down any potential plays for the Kwaibi with these weapons. Are able to find immense value. It's all down to Baby TZ looking to find yet another kill, but now it is going to be SMG finding that advantage once again. Now that they know that most of the players on SMG are towards that B side, they're looking to forge a way towards A instead. And Baby TZ, if she gets this plant down, she will have that ultimate as well. And oh my god, Shirazi with the snake bite able to find that kill right now. 2 for Shirazi to clean things up, and that's gonna be basically a thrifty round that SMG will put together. Started off with the Sheriff, ended with the snake bite. That's how you do it, SMG.
SMG taking the lead here. Only 1 point though. And might I say this might be a timeout coming in from Full Sense as well. You see the execution that SMG had here, especially when it comes to trying to extend the fights or engagement or deciding when to go back. And again, you can definitely see that as soon as Alexi was able to take 1 kill away, help out even mid control, in the end, they just run away from FSS. It's not yet planted. The spike is not yet in play. And they can still eliminate that factor and get into positions instead. But moving forward, again, a timeout from Full Sense here. They want to stop the momentum as soon as possible, as soon as SMG gets a win here, and really polish everything out.
Yeah, they've been having some really good rounds, especially when Muffin is able to find that entry. But the moment that it's going to be SMG finding that first blood instead, the round kind of falls apart for Sapphire most of the time. So they kind of need to sit together and reevaluate how best to set Muffin up. So far, Genie has been doing fantastic with being able to clear a path towards the site itself with her utility. In particular, I think that her use of Wingman to, instead of just planting the spike most of the time, she's using it more as an aggressive, like, go check if anyone's there, Wingman. Good little bro. And it's been working out great for the team. Now though, it's gonna be a full buy for both of these teams, except that there's just gonna be a bit of an awkward situation for the side of Sapphire. In fact, 4 of the 5 players are going to be forced to play on the light armor here. However, they do have that lockdown to work with, like we talked about last round. So I believe that's going to be the way they look to get onto the site, especially with Dizzy being that first point of entry to set Buffett up to take all of the space.
Ooh, space created.
Oh my
Really?
god.
That's gonna be the question mark because Shirazi is ready to punish as she's not yet done, and Alexi finished things off for SMG side. Flawless round indeed. Not even a trial of an entry here, Zach. A Dizzy out, a smoke out is all they were able to manage.
I can understand how Shirazi got that first one, even the second one, but what was that fadeaway on the third? That is just illegal coming out of her. I feel like Shirazi is, like, last year was one of the most underrated players, criminally underrated players in my opinion, on that Bren Victor squad. But this year, Alexi and Shirazi are both, like, really showing up why they were such scary individuals to try and deal with. Now, SMG once again looking to build up that comfortable lead here. Are playing much more aggressively. Inari already with that push out along with Alexi, able to find huge value. The Muffin there for the trades. 2 kills already on that Blade Storm, and they are 2 huge kills to boot. That's going to be no more flashes available if you want to play for that retake instead. No ultimates on either side, although Shirazi is 1 off of that Viper's Pit and Ginny is 2 off of the Thrash here. Things slow down.
It's still a 3v3. Like you said, there's still so much time here on the board for them to try and rotate and maybe regroup themselves. We might be seeing a B hit as well, removing at least 2 of the players that are really crazy on the clutch here and the kills itself. Inari and Alexi. You still have to deal with Shirazi, Kohaibi, Camu. The double control is still here. And they are just patiently waiting for the tap of the spike. This is a plan for a retake anyway.
30
Yeah,
seconds
they might
left.
not have the ultimates, but they do have the firepower with which to do it. Now Shirazi once again watching the cross, spots out Muffin's position, knows exactly where the Jet is playing, and will be able to put that molly down to possibly deny the kind of weird peek coming through. Now though, Thrash is ready to go, does manage to detain 1 player, buying even more time here for the retake attempt before it comes in. 2 players towards his backside. If they can win their fights, it's going to be what it needs, especially with Polly being so low. This is definitely still a doable strat for SMG, but they're going to have to be quicker about it. Harbor's Cove comes in as well. They try to go in for the defuse, and across the board, it's going to be kills coming in for SMG. Ginny now in a 1v2 clutch situation, finds that first one, but it's going to be SMG who nevertheless take the round and extend their lead even further, 7-4.
A little bit of a
Last
paper hold,
round
I
before
would
the
say, as
switch.
Polly was very and extremely low on the HP itself. Not other than that, they also probably didn't internalize there's gonna be a cove. So even if there is someone on B long to try and really make a crossfire happen, it just doesn't work that way. They would stay inside the smoke. Not other than that, the players were already prepared to defuse the spike. One stays inside the cove to protect, and the others attack. 7-4, SMG, 1 win away to close it into an 8-4 scoreline in FSS. We might be seeing a 7-5 yet again. You just never know still up until this point. Lockdown has been used from Baby TZ.
Yeah, I like that SMG, they have so much money in the bank, they're just rolling around with multiple operators here. Now though, it is going to be the push into the site itself. They know there's a lot of space available off the back of the ultimate. Alexi though has crept her way back into this corner right now. Manages to spot out a player with the Trailblazer, but once again it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Inari still with that operator in this retake scenario, waiting for some aggression perhaps coming out of these FS players, but it's going to come down to timing and the angle. Polly more than ready for it, will be able to shut her down once again. And now it's Shirazi and Kohaibi, the dynamic duo in a 2v3. Make that a 2v2 as Kohaibi finds the first, looking to push through the smoke, gets the angle, the second to boot, has a lockdown of her own, and with the Viper's Pit and lockdown both coming in, it is going to be very difficult for Polly to clutch it out. Has to push forward, spots out Kohaibi, manages to make the wrap around though. The timing not quite there, unfortunately. Half the defuse does come through, and just like that, it is going to be SMG finding an 8-4 half on defense. Absolutely gorgeous work coming out of this one.
Playing against time, exactly what FSS and SMG are doing right now. It's a third map. Let's see, it's the first half as well. That's why we pass it on to our panelists, Tash and Donut. Take it away.
Thank you very much. We did see the debut of Lil Bro here today, which is very exciting for us. Unfortunately, it didn't really do the trick that we wanted to see for FSS. Tash here alongside Donut, your panelist, and I have a lot to say about this map. Now, the idea of what FSS wanted to do with the Gecko was definitely there, but there is a reason why the meta of the Viper and the Harbor really shines on this particular map. Donut, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the combination of the double controller really worked for some rounds for Team SMG. But I guess one weakness of Team SMG would be the likes of Muffin. Muffin just dashing on towards the site, and her actions once she steps foot on either the A or the B site, she already technically knows where they are going to be defending. I think out of everybody else, her pre-fire advantage against the Team SMG is very, very accurate. It's just that when it boils down to the anchor of the site, such as Shirazi delivering the 3Ks, and then throwing in the snake bite and just the perfect timing, that's what really gave them that advantage. I guess also the Gecko did work for some rounds. The Thrash is just easily destroyed. There was one time that there was a detain, but it did not really convert to any other kill, which we wanted to see for this map.
I think when you talk about the way that they play here is that for the first few rounds, what was interesting, it was a tug of war between the two teams. See one win, one loss between both teams, and I really like to see that. Also, if you talk about rounds here, for each of the rounds that we see from these two, it has always been a battle of trades over on the mid side. It's always been a battle of control. One time you'll see maybe SMG will be on top, and one time we'll see FSS come up on top at the same time. It's all been about positioning, and I think these two have been really outplaying each other in that quest for that mid control. Now comes the big problem, because we start to see SMG take that timeout. Actually, no, it wasn't SMG. It was Full Sense Sapphire take the timeout after a round that they lost against SMG. But then during that round, I'm not too sure what happened, but SMG has started to win.
I think we're back into the game, and Tayror and Zach, let us know what you think for the second half.
Right off the bat, it seemed like the side of SMG, they're going for a very, very quick hit onto this A site. There is some killjoy utility from Baby TZ, but it's not going to do much from the onslaught coming in on this SMG squad. Now, Neri looking for that aggressive push here, not quite able to connect that kill. Does do quite a bit of damage, and Shirazi is available for the trade. In fact, Shirazi and Alexi, they're taking this all the way into that defender spawn, and it's gonna be Sapphire not even able to walk back onto the side. 30 seconds, Taylor.
Too fast, too furious. It's like I'm watching a movie at this point. I mean, if you go in and go kill, as they say it, you would find whatever you're looking for. Anyway, up until that point, they just cut off all the rotations, basically, coming in from Full Sense on that pistol round. Gaining that advantage, making things a little bit more difficult for Full Sense, as we are almost in that double-digit scoreline yet again. Might be a different story from the second game that we had a while ago, but I mean, it's not yet over till it's over, right? As Shirazi shuts down another with just a wall bang. Good read.
It's gonna be a really crucial kill as well. 4v, that's gonna be no more smokes to try and slow down the push even further. Now 4v5 scenario, once again, they managed to get a pick, and they're looking to go towards this A site. It's completely empty. They don't know that, so they're being a little bit cautious. But I think that eventually they will figure out that it does seem like Sapphire as well. They're getting a hint that, all right, it seems like B is not going to be where the action is coming. It's going to be A instead. But at that juncture, SMG, they just get that spike down once again, absolutely free.
Yeah, absolutely free. Like you said, in Indonesian, gratis, and even in German. But in any sense, point right now, We are looking at a post plan coming in from SMG side. FSS tries to go for the peek from Margot. Didn't get anyone instead. 5v3 still. Spray downs coming in from SMG side as they want to make this harder for Full Sense. They go on a double-digit score already, 10-4, even on a flawless fashion.
That's the kind of anti-eco that they really need to set themselves up for on this map. Last time they played, I think it was 13-4 or 13-5. I don't remember. I think it was 13-4. So if they win 3 more rounds, it's gonna be the exact same scoreline they played this team on with this comp. They are looking to kind of make up for how tormented they seem to be on Haven. They look much more confident and settled in their skin on this particular map. Now though, for Sapphire, it is going to be their full buy finally kicking in. No ultimates online for either side. Oh, you see that Shirazi's only 1 away from that Viper's Pit. I'm surprised she didn't buy a judge, honestly.
I mean, she was already on a Vandal in the second round, full armor, by the way. So she's rich. Shirazi, even just a burger would be fine at this point. 10-4. Again, FSS, they want to take a little the things a little slower this time around. They are on the defense here. They have utility that they can play around to check for intel and info. Again, this is how when you don't have a sky, you don't have that guiding light to really punish and see if there is someone. There's an entry happening already from the side of SMG. Preparation to really prepare and make that post plan happen as Neri shuts down Margot yet again.
Nice kill with the Sheriff there. Shirazi finding a second as well on the round. That's going to make this full buy round very, very awkward for the side of Sapphire. 3 remaining players. Baby TC able to find that first kill is huge, taking down Shirazi. He will deny that Viper's Pit. Now though, looking for a little bit more. Finds a second one though. Numbers advantage still in favor of the players on SMG here. Oh, Canary though, through the smoke, despite the smoke rather, will be able to find the final kills. 3 on the round for her, and SMG, they find 11. So close to locking the series up.
It's also a wall bangable spot, so they weren't really worried much, especially in that post plan scenario here for SMG. 11-4, guys. We really started this day into 13-5, where we finally broke records today. First of all, for the first game, and then second game, the first loss towards SMG in 30+ maps that they have right now as a streak, as a winning streak. Completely broken, but that really didn't phase them at all. They're ready to conquer it all. As Shirazi, they have a Viper's Pit in play here that they can use.
They're just holding on to it. It seems like they don't really invest about due cause. And now it's going to be Ginny finding one with the Sheriff, but Kwaibi finding 2 in exchange. That's not a very good trade offer for the side of Sapphire. They seem to be kind of once again struggling on this particular map with the team comp that they're running. They just don't seem to have enough utility to try and do anything. And honestly, even if Full Sense lose, the only thing I hope to see out of this is for little bro to defuse the spike for one of these rounds. Ginny does have him online, unfortunately not going to be alive in this particular round, so I doubt we're going to be seeing that. But instead, just look at this post plan coming out of SMG. They feel so confident, they're not even going to invest that Viper's Pit. They're just like, yeah, you hold here, I hold here, we hold Crossfire.
Oh! The smoke dissipates and everything is seen. Nowhere to hide, as they say it from Sova's perspective. 12-4 is gonna be the score right now as we see match point coming in from SMG. This lineup that they have, it's basically rewatching Bind all over again. The double control setup that they actually used up also on that kind of scenario. You just have to give credit where credit's due here for SMG. Really, really strong team right now. I know I'm a Full Sense believer here as well, but may the stronger team win, right? Inari ready for the blades yet again. Is it gonna be Margot as her next target, as we saw in the next rounds? The shot didn't connect, the right click didn't. Margot finally wins against Inari.
God, I hate it when that happens to my Jet Knives. Inari, Jet Knives not connecting, barely doing any damage in fact, and that's going to be 2 for the price of 1, both Inari and Shirazi being shut down. Kawaibi now on a bit of a lurk play, does have her turret and will be looking to see what exactly to do. 3v4 scenario. Again, Sapphire, they just have so much control. BBTZ holding up such an advanced positioning here. Kawaibi as well will at least be able to connect onto this A side, and they should be able to get the spike down. But BBTZ, if she gets a
Spike
kill, she's gonna
planted.
have this lockdown online Taylor, and that might be just completely a game changer.
It can be a game changer here, but we are looking at game changers anyway. We still have an operator in the hand of Muffin here, bound for a retake to happen as Wingman is crawling over, trying to see who can they punish. It's gonna be
One
Ginny
enemy
instead
remaining.
being punished. Baby TZ on the other hand and Margot was able to get on the kills here, but it's all up to Alexi to make this happen now. 2v1 scenario, a bit of a pressure point from Full Sense right now. They want to go for the defuse, and they actually did. A round secured yet again for Full Sense, but the trouble was there. Damage has been done.
Oh, Alexi manages to find all those kills. If she thought to wrap around a little bit earlier, she might have been able to clutch it up. But nevertheless, that was a very expensive round for Sapphire. You can see, like, even though they won that round, they still have to like kind of force together like a very awkward by compromise a little bit on the armor and stuff. Muffin does have the Blaze Storm to work with at the very least, and at this juncture, every single buy that they get has to be a full buy because they have no more room to play eco and stuff. They do have 4 ultimates, 2 off of the 5th one, so those might be the key they need to push this further a couple of rounds. But 7 rounds in a row, that's what they need to keep themselves alive in the series.
Alive in the series is what exactly Full Sense needs right now. Muffin has a good angle, good on the blades. She was able to even pick up a Vandal for herself as well. Again, Zach, anything can happen here. I'm just saying they need 7 perfect rounds. And it's never impossible. Again, this is Full Sense we're playing at. Margot already good on the kill towards Alexi yet. Again, Polly to shut down Ineri. 1 by 1, SMG is falling down.
It just seems to be the end of the road here, especially when Kawaibi and Kamiyu do things like this. Now, Kawaibi has that lockdown as well to work with. The second kill as well. That is absolutely huge right now. Look at the amount of space she's able to take. It's all down to Muffin and Polly to deny this insane 4v2 clutch coming out of this SMG squad right now. Once again, the site has been completely taken. It does seem like Kawaibi isn't going to be using the lockdown,
30 seconds
though. Instead, choosing to just kind of chill out. Position given away by the Blade Storm finally, with Kobe using to plant as well, and it's gonna be planted for CT, which means that the read should be there by these players on Full Sense to go forward. Already the Blade Storm not quite working in Muffin's favor, causing her to lose half of her HP. Kamiyu and Kawaibi are both so dangerously low here. Oh, but they don't check the corner. Kawaibi and Kamiyu with 2v4 and SMG. They move on in that upper bracket. Gods do bleed, but they are still the victors for today. You can see that little bit of sweaty celebration coming in. And honestly, really, really well earned by them.
Princess Alexi, ladies and gents, sweating on a game. That's a first for SMG. Full Sense really made it so difficult for SMG to really close off the maps that we just had right here. But they still managed to pull it off. They are the strongest team right now in the circuit anyway. And this is pretty much expected coming in from them. But what was not expected, Zach, is obviously Full Sense taking this to map number 3 right now. And almost as if it would be the first series loss coming in from SMG side.
Yeah, at least for the first 4 rounds, Pearl was going like pretty even. It was like 4-4, but then yeah, after that SMG, they got their coffee. They were like, yeah, little bro, you're cute, but I'm sorry, it has to be done. And they just like swept through out of there. But that last round coming out of Kawaibi and Kamiyu was just beautiful work. That 2v4, and of course Kawaibi is just insane on the killjoy. She was cracked in the race last year, but this year she's on a whole other level. But let's have our wonderful panelists talk about how amazing both of these teams were. And bye bye, little bro.
Thank you very much, Starcasters and Little Bro. Let's break it down because that was one hell of a map. Now, while it did seem that SMG was shaky on defense, on attack was when their heads start to rear in terms of the piece we call Team SMG. Now, coming into the game in the first few rounds, it felt as though it was a back and forth. But round 13 to round 16 was where Aneri really started to come online. And as soon as she came online, she was comfortable. She was put in a position where she can't get these frags. That's where we start to see these multi-frags come through. But the same can be said about the rest of her team.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was all about the control, right? I think that was one of the core strategies that Team SMG showed us for the map of Pearl. And the control isn't just about the selection of agents, but it was about how they took away some space of the map. From Team FSS. If they take away the control from Muffin, then I think it's already around one because Muffin did a lot of heavy lifting for the team. Given that she is currently the team MVP with an ACS of 233, if we take a look at the other side of things, for Team SMG, it was Kohaibi just providing that sense of control, using all of her utilities as a sentinel. And I guess that also goes to show for the likes of Alexi and Camu doing all of those initiations, providing cover for the team. And if Full Sense Sapphire has the wingman, we have the ultimate wingman from Team SMG, which was basically Shirazi. If you took a look at all of her assists for the whole map of Pearl, it just stacked up the amount of snake bite damage that she was able to pull off, even the amount of damage through the smoke she was able to do. I think that was really more of that quote unquote game changer for the map of Pearl.
Yeah, and it's also really exciting to talk about how FSS really tried to wiggle themselves into the game again. Now, MVP will be Kohaibi, and I'm not surprised. I think a lot of mid control had come from her, given the fact of how she actually held the sites. What she would do is she would drop her utility on the A site, and she would play near Link. And I think a lot of times her hold has been very phenomenal for the team because she would get one frag, leave for a little while, and then go again to the mid side and then catch another one in that time. And I think it's really exciting to think that, we're starting to see a lot of dual rules start to take a step back in a lot of regions in so many different VCTs. And in this situation, with Kohaibi playing on a Sentinel, I think it really allowed her to just play pure and clean gunplay and really thrive on the aim jewels. So I think that's where she really shone, especially on how exactly she played with her utilities. Now, I think that coming into attack as well, it seemed a lot more coordinated for Team SMG. They had an idea on how exactly to attack, taking up space, eliminating one member of FSS again and again from each other. And on top of that, on how they enabled Aneri here, it was the fact that they had one person completely deleting Lil Bro, any kind of utility coming forward, which really allowed Aneri to take up space. And before we end though, what do you think, Donut? Will FSS finally come back online? Maybe see them again in Grand Finals?
Well, I guess we got a glimpse already of what the grand finals could look like, at least for this weekend. But they still have another hurdle to face, and that's going to be Orangutan X for sure.
All right, we're gonna end here. So let's have a look at the brackets coming forward here as we see the end of the day. Now, if we saw the secondary stream, we saw OGX, THK, and GERQ running forward, and we saw OGX and GE coming today. And I think that it was really exciting. I'm really excited to see them because these are both Indian teams. I think the fans from India would be really, or at least South Asia would be really excited to see who the victor for this is. Now, the victor for this will definitely be having a hard time coming up against FSS for sure. And I'm really hoping to see a great match from the teams.
Yeah, the only challenge now for tomorrow is whoever will win game number one, they have to, face a
FSS.
big barrier, which is going to be FSS, and
Yeah.
just playing back to back is going to be a challenge. So I think it will be a showing of endurance and persistence. After winning, how do you reset your mental? How do you go against one of the strongest teams in Southeast Asia, which is FSS, and the one who took down the undefeated Team SMG?
I think it's also really exciting to talk about how some teams really thrive not only under pressure, but also really do well when the matches go very, very long. I mean, we saw something like that very similarly last year during the VCT APAC LCQ, where Onyx versus Boom went into crazy overtimes. They played back to back against Bleed as well, going into another overtime. So teams like these, they tend to do better the longer they play. And I'm really hoping to see both these teams really thrive in those situations because, after all, I think that now when we can start to see the power rankings, SMG is definitely shakeable. It's all about just finding out and just really understanding what their weaknesses are. And it was definitely done on Haven. Regardless, that will be the end for today. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with us over the VCT Game Changers APAC Series 2023. Tomorrow will be another day. So Tash Buddy here alongside Donut. We're your panelists for today and hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Oh, come on.
One enemy remaining.
Miles ready.
Spike down A.
That's 3.
Quit your tiptoeing.
Bye-bye. Got one. That's on.
One enemy remaining.
Off your feet!
You're standing.
Auf Wiedersehen. My ultimate is ready. Headshot. 3.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless. One enemy remaining.
Death grounded. Death grounded.
On the money.
Spike.
One enemy remaining.
Play.
Copy kill.
One enemy remaining. Last player.
Flash out!
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Crown. Watch this. Headshot. Enemy kill.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Enemy
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Okay. Bomb grenade out.
One enemy remaining.